Am I live? Wait, can you guys hear me?
Any livers?
I think I'm live.
Any livers?
I think I did it. Here, let me go into the Discord, then we're good to go. Dude, I forgot to put Spotify on the computer. God, oh my God, what a day. Can you guys hear me all right now? Yeah, great show. Yo, thank you. All right, we got water. Because there are brain-eating amoebas in Texas right now. Yo, Bulwark, thank you for the 100 bits. It's time for the Allcraft after show. Right now, very quickly here, I'm trying to actually set up what this is going to look like. There we go. Yeah, looks good. I'm a genius. Yo, Sizz, welcome to the Rich Kids. Got Gold, welcome to the Rich Kids. Eras, thank you very much for that. Yo, thank you guys. Yeah, today is my first day officially back. From now on, stream schedule is going to be regular. Everything's good to go for the thing that Asmon, and I'm not going to go into detail. But everything's good to go. It feels really good to be back. Tomorrow's stream is going to be really cool as well. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And I just have to pick up Asmon's birthday gift for me. Do you want to join on Discord, or do you want to sit?
Do you want to turn on the lights so people can see you?
I don't have lights in my apartment, so I'm not used to it. Don't eat these fries. They've been sitting out here since I got here. Or that cheeseburger. That's been sitting here since I got here. This glizzy is safe to eat, though.
What is a glizzy?
A glizzy? You never stuck down a glizzy with the boys?
No.
You want to suck down a glizzy with me right now?
No, I'm good.
How do you take your glizzies, Asmon?
With a lot of chili.
Really?
Yeah, I like chili on my glizzies.
I like cheese and mayo on my glizzy. S-Man's turning on lights and shit. I don't know what he's doing. If you put too many lights on me, it's gonna make my hair look thin.
Yeah, it's fine. You look like
It's gonna. What do you think? It's gonna scare it away?
Hey man, I'm not taking any advice in that category from you. No, it's not. Just turn it off, please.
Alright, let's try that. Is that better?
Yeah, I think so. All right, everybody. So we're ready. We're ready for the viewer call-ins. If you haven't already, please do jump in the Discord, guys. Thank you for all the subs. Oh, let me really quickly here turn off the notifications for as we get everything started, so we can hear all of your beautiful voices as we do the viewer call-ins. Hello, Rooster. Rooster.
Let me mute the stream.
Oh, I never heard that one before.
Oh, what's going on, guys?
Not much, dude. What's going on with you?
Not a lot. So, look, here's the deal. I got sort of a statement and then more of a question pertaining to that, right? So, the reputations in BFA, like, have been and are dog shit. And, if anybody at Blizzard were to be listening, I would ask them to just... every day that you cap somebody is another day they don't get to do what the fuck they want to do in your video game. So, what I want to ask you guys is first, do you think the reputations were as bad as I did? And second, sort of, what are some of your favorite reps that from the history?
I'm actually curious. Before we dive in all the way, is your problem overall time gating, or is it just reps?
Yeah, I would say time gating, even though there are more, I would admit there are more pressing matters, more integral systems that need attention. It's just one of those things that coming back to the game really bothered me. You know, like...
Yeah. Here's where I'm at, dude. Is like, I liked the Rust Bolt, the dailies. I liked the Nazjatar rep too. I think those were really good because there are so many different ways that you could progress the rep. So, like, you could do the world quest, you could do the daily quest, you could do the story, you could kill the rares, you could go do the pet battles, you could do all of these different things, and you could do all of them, some of them, or none of them. And I like having different options and different ways to progress your rep, but, like, let's go through it. 7th Legion rep, dog shit. Champions of Azeroth, dog shit. Order of Embers, Proudmourne Admiralty, dog shit. Rajani, dog shit. Rust Bolt, I thought that was good. Storm's Wake, dog shit. Tortollan Seekers, average. The Old McCord.
Wait, what made Tortollan Seekers better than the other ones?
Because they were completely unrequired for anything else, and there was no items that they gave you besides cosmetic bonuses.
Okay.
They were just a completely like a separate rep that had no consequence whatsoever. Whereas like the Champions of Azeroth had the helmet that you had to farm.
Yes,
So
I would agree. They had decent rewards for the most part. It's just like, let's say you were somebody who came back to the game, all you gave a damn about was something like an allied race, and then you find out that the only way to get this thing, that's the only thing you give a shit about, is to do your world quests. You're done with those in 15 minutes, and you're reading the guides, trying to find any little nugget of something to do, and it's like these reps aren't grindable. You see what I'm saying? But what I wanted to know from you guys was, what are some of your favorite reps from the history of the game, and if you and maybe something you've always wanted to see.
Favorite reps.
Future.
Okay. Let's talk about some more contemporary ones, and then we'll go and we'll talk about some of the newer ones. I really liked what they did with the Honeyback Harvester rep for getting the beam out. Now, I didn't get a chance to do this a lot because I just basically have people give me the items, but I looked into it a lot and I saw that the way that you did it was really interesting and it was complex. I thought that was cool. The beam out was awesome. On top of that, I thought the way that they handled the, this was the rep in Legion. Did you ever do the reputation grind for Talon's Vengeance? Okay, well, you missed out. Talon's Vengeance is really fun. And I thought the way that you got rep from Talon's Vengeance was great. I love that. Then go over to Warlords of Draenor. Okay, now we'll go over to Mists of Pandaria. And let's see, are there any good ones over there?
Yeah, I like the Drakes.
Xiaohao.
I actually thought Mop had really good rep grinds. Like Emperor.
Did it really? Like it had. Okay, so the reason the Mists of Pandaria rep grinds are like so contextual with the people feeling like they had to do like 50 daily quests a day because of the rewards they gave. So I think that Mists of Pandaria dailies were decent, but I think the best rep out of it was the Emperor Xiaohao rep. And then also the, I don't know, I like the Dreadwaste Calaxy rep. I like doing those quests. Sure. I don't know, is that weird?
No, I liked it for the little stingy boy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what were they called? What are the dragons called?
The dragons.
The sky serpents, right? The snakes.
Oh, Order of the Cloud Serpent. Yeah.
Yes, I mean that was good, and also it was like a callback to the Nether Drakes, which I think made me really happy. Because that was one of my favorite reps back in the day. I don't know how it would actually hold up now over time, but I mean I remember just like running around grabbing eggs all day long, and I like it made me happy. Like that was one of my favorite grinds of all time.
Yeah,
it was really nice and calming. It's kind of like the Netherwing rep. I felt the same way about it. I thought the Netherwing rep
exactly.
was great.
That's why I was like my callback to, right? 100%. Like Netherwing rep is probably my favorite rep grind of all time was Netherwing rep.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks for your question. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Rooster. Dude, yep, Rooster.
I don't know what I should farm right now.
That's where I'm at right now, because, this game kind of doesn't matter. It's not coming out for a really long time, dude.
This is good. I have to farm more things. I don't know if I should farm pets, amount. I could spam islands again. I did that yesterday, though.
I might go outside, dude. I like outside.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that.
Dude, we should do the camping stream.
I don't know. Like, is it time for that?
Yeah, I mean, we have so much time now. We may as well go outside. Oh my God. We should do the camping stream on, like, the day. We should do something on the day that the expansion was supposed to be released.
Oh, yeah. That could be good.
We should, like, get the group together. And we should do something.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I like that. You come up with something good there. Yeah, for sure. I'm still so happy that they delayed it, man.
Sven, say something. I just turned you up.
Somebody says, I don't want to do that. What?
It was his idea.
Yeah.
It was literally his fucking idea.
Yeah, it's very complex the way that I wanted to do it. And it's like, I don't know, like whenever Rich and I build out the idea a little bit more and like brainstorm on it, we'll announce it to you guys. But it was actually my idea.
Wait, the camping?
Yeah, remember?
Well,
we talked about this forever ago.
Well, the thing,
no,
yeah.
Before BFA launch.
The thing is okay. You have to just let Asmon have it, because we talked about the idea a really long time ago, and he just came up with it again.
No. I mean, we talked about it with Asmon.
Did you guys come up with the same idea that I did?
No. You were there. Like, you talked about this. This is like a whole. This was before BFA launch.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this idea like 30 times.
Yeah.
This time it's actually gonna happen. This time it's actually gonna happen.
Because this was during Summer of IRL. It came up, and I remember you and I were talking about it, Asmon, and I think you brought it up, and I don't remember all the details, but it was Summer of IRL. Whenever Greek came to visit and Train was doing a bunch of IRL.
I wasn't at that one.
I was. Yeah.
And we've talked about it though. Like, we've talked about it before. But I think now it's like the Asmon's new idea is like very different than some of the other ideas we had. Because we, on one of the things that I'm not going to go into detail with, but there was like a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that thing was different than this thing, and I really like the thing that we are, how the thing is now with that thing.
Yeah.
So
I was saying Asmon came up with this forever ago. Is my point. That was my point. The original idea for camping stream was like over 2 years.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. And you know what else is gonna be good?
What?
The next question.
Dude, you know what was good? That $100 donation you just got.
Oh shit.
Wait, what? Holy shit. I didn't have it on because I was trying to pay attention. Yo, thank you so much. Yo, Hollowed Horizon, you already know who it is. Hitting you with another big dono. Love you and Asmon. Love the streams. Love you, the content. Cheers to you both. Sorry, S-Fan. Yo, thank you so much, Hollowed Horizon. Dude, thank you. Oh my god.
Nobody likes me. That's why my whole life's been like that. It's fine.
You know why?
Why?
Because they love you.
True.
And you know what else we love? A good question from our callers. Yo, what's up, Wolf Love? Wolf Love? You there, Wolf Love?
Dono wall. Wolf Love, why are you dono walling us? Yo, Wolf Love.
Hello?
Hello.
What up?
Oh, sorry. Hi.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
All right.
I really didn't expect to get in this. Oh my god.
So how does that feel?
Great, honestly.
So rank the top 3 things that have happened in your life, the best 3 things that have ever happened in your life.
Discovered Asmongold.
Okay.
True.
Damn.
Go on.
No, that's it. That's all we need.
Let's see. Exist, kind of, I guess.
Okay, so existing is number 2. That's
good.
Interesting.
Okay.
Now, what's number 3?
Shadowlands being delayed.
Okay,
All right. So there we go.
Existing to watch Asmon complain about Shadowlands. What a
I'm gonna
life.
be honest with you.
I love it.
That was the wrong answer. The number 1 should have been being in this call right now. So
Okay, number 1. Number 1.5. Okay.
okay.
You're about to say Final Fantasy, weren't you?
No, I don't play that game.
Okay, I'm about
That
to
game is
say-
trash.
All right, good. So what's your question?
I guess, like, I don't know. I didn't really have a question because I didn't really expect to get in.
Okay.
I think my question would be, like, what do you think they're going to do? Like, obviously they're going to be, like, polishing and stuff, but what do you think they're going to do, like, overall? Like, what do you think
With their
they should
time.
focus on mostly?
Making covenants and making them all better, because that's the in-game player experience. I think they should look at like what players are going to be doing and just like kind of look at the way that people play test the beta in terms of like casual players, not just like super hardcore like raider people, but just like a casual player that plays through the beta. What do they do at max level? Making sure those activities are fun is really important. And if they do that, I feel like the game could be a lot better. And that's what I'd like to see them do, is focus on the content that players are going to be directly interfacing with the soonest.
Yeah, and I also think that, you know, they said pretty openly some of the things that they're going to work on, even in their announcement, which I thought was kind of crazy. They were like, yeah, there are problems with endgame. There are problems with how these systems are actually balanced. I love the fact that they were so open about it. I think it was something that the community definitely would want to hear in general with an announcement as big as this.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably in a situation right now where a lot of that focus is going to be on making sure the endgame doesn't stink.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's kind of where we're at too. I mean, I think it just matters like making sure that players that are, that they want to get into the game, that they have a good experience getting into it. Like the first impressions of anything are just like super important. So if you can do a good job with that, I think that you're gonna do the game a great service. And so just making sure that entry level player experience is meaningful and fun is really gonna do a whole lot for the game. And that's what I'd really like to see them work on.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I know I've heard a lot about I've been like following videos and stuff because I don't have beta, but I know a lot of the problems, like I know one of the big problems for me was like that some of the monk abilities like they weren't working at all, like properly. And I'm like, how are you gonna release a game when that's not even finished? Like that's not even a bug, you know? Like I don't know. I didn't think it would happen though, like this delay, because like Activision is just like, oh no, you gotta push it out. But
yeah,
you talk
this
about is pretty crazy.
About it, you think about it for a long time, but you never really think it happens until it does, and then it's almost a shock, even though you kind of had hoped it would happen the whole time. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Wolf Love, you said you don't have beta, right?
No, I don't.
What would you say if I could tell you that I could give you Shadowlands beta right now?
That would be adding on to the list of things would be great in my life.
Yeah, that would be cool if I could, but I can't. I'm sorry. So, I was just wondering what you would say. I wanted to see where it would rank in that list.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it would be great, but can't do that. It's okay.
It's like it's sour grapes. It's not that good. It's just a beta. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the game will come out eventually.
Do you have a second question? Or are you good?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks for this, though.
Well, thanks all for watching. We really appreciate it. And
thank
you for your question, too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a really big debate, dude.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Wasn't it?
That was cool.
That was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
Oh man, I was like, holy shit! Is he gonna actually pull a beta out of his pocket right now? I was super confused.
Yeah.
Didn't you
I'll send her a beta queue.
Wait, do you?
I like playing with people's emotions.
Wait, I know you do.
Do you actually have beta keys?
Yeah,
I
for
got
TBC.
like a million. Yeah, TBC, the secret beta.
Yeah, duh, dude. Don't you know that? Ooh, this is my last week of the Stratlalum pet dungeon. I'm done after this week. This is the last item I need.
Wait. What do you even do in the pet dungeons? I actually don't even know.
You kill the pets, and then you have your pets kill their pets, and then it's over.
But why? What is the point? Like, what do you get?
What's the point?
What's the reward? Yeah.
You get pets.
And then you make those pets fight other pets.
Yeah. It's a pretty enclosed system.
Interesting. Okay.
I know.
I'm having a crisis right now.
Okay.
What are we gonna do? What if it doesn't come out until December?
Well, we have that Minecraft idea. Could do that. Plenty of other stuff too. I feel like we're gonna have plenty of stuff to do, man.
Oh my god, we can play PoE!
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. There's a lot of stuff going on. By the way, I did actually have an extra beta key laying around, and I did send it to her. I just like toying with people's emotions because I think it's funny.
You didn't say, yeah, how do you have fucking
I'm dead serious. Yeah. I had an extra beta key.
Yeah, right. When did you ever get beta keys?
Dude, I just freaking...
He did.
Dude, I used the freaking hacks, dude.
Dude, everybody got beta keys except for us. He's not kidding.
They told me they
A bunch of people got beta keys.
That's crazy.
All the Europeans have beta keys too.
Yeah, I know that, but that was like Europeans. It's not the same thing.
Maybe they just got confused and thought Asmon was European.
Yeah. It's because they saw me doing accents on my KOTOR streams.
Oh yeah, there we go.
The multiculturalism.
I just thought of something. What if the three of us, when Shadowlands was supposed to come out, what if for one day the three of us leveled in Final Fantasy together on the day that Shadowlands was supposed to come out?
That would actually be really funny.
We just pretended Shadowlands the whole time. Wow, this game's beautiful, dude. All right, let's pull in the next caller. Yo, what's up, Dylan?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't really play that much WoW. I was excited to play Shadowlands again for a bit. And I just wanted to give my it's on the just refund. Don't pre-order this game. They've done it again, and I can't believe it. It's so disappointing.
What'd they do?
They just butchered it. They tore our hopes and dreams apart. You know, we're all excited. Here I am trying to get back into WoW with a couple of days of mine, and it's just gone. My dreams.
Why is it gone?
But they're making it better.
I mean, they are making it better, but I could just be playing Final Fantasy instead.
Okay.
So we've got ourselves a double agent here. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, so you're trying to get people to go play Final Fantasy. Yeah, you are a double agent.
Well, I mean, WoW's good, yeah, but I mean, Shadowbringers.
So you just came over to the WoW directory because you know that there are a bunch of sexy people playing WoW, and you're trying to bring them all back to Final Fantasy.
No, you can keep playing your game. I'm just saying don't support a company that delays a game.
Wait, hold on.
Why? I think delaying the game is great.
Why is it bad to delay a game?
More or less, it's just worse to pre-order a game.
Well, then what does that have to do with delaying the game?
And it's on me and everyone that pre-ordered the game. We're just giving into this corporate shit.
Well, then just don't pre-order the game.
Exactly.
I think pre-orders are toxic,
huge mistake
but
pre-ordering it.
Here's the thing: I do think pre-orders tend to be toxic. More so early release. I think.
So
is
why
really
do you
toxic,
feel like a pre-order is worse now than it was before?
Well, see, here's the thing: I never really played WoW. I don't really play Blizzard games, and I just wanted to come and enjoy myself. And I was so excited because I haven't played WoW since Cataclysm. And, you know, I had a good time. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna stop playing Final Fantasy for a little. And I'm gonna come over to WoW.
Okay.
And I did. And you know, I had some fun playing for a little bit and BFA. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I've played this game enough. I can sit. I can relax. I can wait till Shadowlands comes out. And I'm so excited. And then we hear this. Dream's gone.
So
but it's still gonna come out.
So would you rather play an unfinished version of the game sooner or a good product later, or a better product?
Just crunch it. Just crunch it.
What if they can't crunch it?
No.
Yeah. What if they can't crunch it?
What if they have to crunch it longer to get a good product?
Like right now, let's say that you wanted me to run a mile in 7 minutes. I could run or let's say 5 minutes because I could
do that.
Let's say that you asked me to run a mile in 5 minutes. I obviously have the physical capability to do it. Asmon does, Sfan does. Like, we could do it. We're alpha, we're fast males. But the thing is it would take time to get to the place to be able to do it. Sometimes you just don't have enough time, and there are humans right now who have to work on the game and make it perfect. And there also is the feedback loop of testing. They just didn't have enough time. I think it was a mistake to maybe announce it in the first place, but I'm not saying that I think that pre-orders are a good thing. I think for the most part in the gaming industry, like I do think that pre-orders tend to be toxic. I think that early release in particular is really bad. I do think with Blizzard though, and their pre-orders, there does tend to be, if you're going to do pre-orders, they do tend to add value to their pre-orders. Like my mother got me the collector's edition of Burning Crusade. Actually, I don't even know if she pre-ordered it, but still, one of the reasons that I would pre-order is to make sure that I get them still, because one of my favorite things in the game is the Netherwelt that my mom got me from the collector's edition. Like there's an added value to those collector's editions and to things like that. And it's not like Blizzard has ever done anything super untrustworthy with that particular thing, with those pre-orders, with that type of content. And I think that is... It's two completely different things. I actually think that there's added value in the pre-order now that they're saying we're only going to ship a completely finished product.
Would you pre-order a Final Fantasy expansion?
No, I don't think so. It's the only game that I'm okay with pre-ordering, and it has been delayed. And see, this is why I refunded my copy. I assume that Shadowlands is going to come out sometime late November. Hopefully, that I assume that's what everyone's hoping for,
sure.
right? And the only game that I've pre-ordered, and the longest time besides Shadowlands, I gave into it. My bad. Sorry. Is Cyberpunk. You know, I'll just be preoccupied playing that. By the time this comes out, I'll have no time to play Shadowlands.
Doesn't that game still doesn't come out for another 16 years, right? So you have time.
I think it's, let's see. Yeah, it's about that, 57 years.
Yeah, so
my kids are going to be playing Cyberpunk. I don't even have a girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna pre-order and play,
that itself is exciting. A game that you've been waiting for so long, and your children get to play it.
Oh.
But
that's
yeah, that's my 2 cents.
So you don't like pre-orders.
I do not want to like hold up so much time from all the other viewers. That's my 2 cents. It was nice talking to all of you. Have a nice day.
You're not, just because chat's like spamming, you're not holding up time. Like, you just have a different opinion than chat. Like, that's fine. Like, I think it's an important conversation to have. Like, you're fine with
chat. I'm not even looking at Twitch chat.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, chat's gonna freak out, but it's good to hear other opinions, because even if we don't agree with you, there are going to be people who do feel really bad about this, and I think like it's great to hear what you're saying, to try to hear what some of those pain points are so we can make the community better. Chat likes to freak out, but just because you don't agree with somebody, you should still listen to them, because you're going to learn something, guys. And I think we've started to get towards like that kernel of pain that you really are feeling, and it's kind of across the entire game industry. And that's an important thing, because that is going to affect our game as well.
Nobody likes pre-orders.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You guys have a nice day.
You too, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Having my different opinion.
Nice day.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you.
Someday.
Thanks for calling.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You do learn something whenever people have different opinions.
Yeah, you don't learn something if somebody just like strokes your ego all day and just agrees with you. And you're just sitting there in your bedroom, just like, yeah, dude, there fucking is, dude, right? And it's fun when people challenge you. That's why McConnell's the best human being on Twitch, right?
Well, I learned that opinion was stupid, is what I learned. So I'm just kidding.
It was stupid.
Like the thing is though, is I think it was like completely wrong for WoW. Like
it's logically inconsistent and stupid. It has nothing to do with the problem that he was stating. He was blaming something he didn't like about the gaming industry on Shadowlands. It had nothing to do. It was completely inconsistent. Like, it was just stupid.
This cheeseburger is so good.
What kind of cheeseburger is it?
Mayo.
A mayo cheeseburger, nice.
Meat.
Can I pick somebody to move into here?
Yeah, move in anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I do the next one because I want to bring in Horizon. Yo, Silver Fox, dude, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Damn, the roast, fuck. Yeah, we're roasting people. Like, no. Never mind, I was going to say something, I would get in trouble.
Toasting people. Let's see, who has the best name? I'm trying to pick the person who has the coolest name.
Page 2, thank you for 6 months, brother. Oh my god, that was one of the best burgers of my life.
This guy's name is Jake. Let's move Jake in here. Shalom, Jake.
Shalom, brother.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, dude? What's your question?
It's more of a comment. What's really wrong with time gating? I guess I'm a little bit older than most WoW players, so patience is a virtue I've always been taught. And I don't really see an issue with it. It kind of feels a little more rewarding when you get something that you had to wait for.
So
I think that's a good question.
I think it's a great question because I think right now, especially right now too, because one of the big things that we're talking about is the idea of withholding gratification right now for a better Shadowlands expansion. So I definitely do think that there's a lot of merit to what you're saying in certain contexts. I think the reason that I'm very anti-time gating, for the most part, I think that there's some parts where time gating is really good. Sometimes it doesn't make sense with the game mechanics, and it's not supporting the game mechanics, and it's just there to slow you down, right? It doesn't actually line up with what the particular system says. There are natural time gates that have always existed in the game. One of the aspects of time gating, which did have an element of RNG to it, was always going to be loot tables, right? When you actually got your loot. That was a form of time gating, and the weekly reset was another portion of time gating. You were only able to do that each Tuesday. There are also some instances of time gating that I thought were great. Like, oh god, it was a Mists of Pandaria. What was it called, a Mists of Pandaria, when they added, they slowly started to add more quests. That was one of the good ones. And then also in Firelands, that was good time gating as well, because it was progressive and you were unlocking something. I think some of the bigger problems with time gating when it's just palpably there to slow you down to extend content. Like,
do you think that the corruption vendor rotation made the game better?
Not,
Well, then,
but
doesn't that
when
mean-
that day came that you got your corruptions, it felt good.
Okay.
I don't think it felt.
So do you think that it would feel better? Do you think that it made it feel better because you just had to wait for it? Like, wouldn't it just make somebody feel better immediately just to be able to get the item they want?
Yeah, but then I feel like it wouldn't you get a little more burnt out quicker?
So wouldn't you get burnt out if you didn't have the option to do it in the first place?
I think it makes a fair point here, but it's like getting burnt out, like you're saying, versus getting bored, right? A lot of what time gating, a lot of the problem that people have with time gating is just in general, like as a catch up mechanic, right? If you're not doing something from day one and something's time gated, like I can't just put more hours into the game and progress and really push myself to catch up. That kind of sucks, right? Like I know on BFA launch, something happened on BFA launch, and I was like out of town or something for a weekend, and I missed a rotation of dailies to get like my high item level gear. I can't even remember what this is called. I'm totally drawing a blank here, but I missed a rotation. And then what ended up happening was like I was way behind everybody else. It felt like, because I couldn't do anything to catch up, and I had to wait until it reset the next time. So I think that's probably one of the biggest problems with time gating, right? And then there's like also the business practice. You know, we've talked about the rotations and whatnot, right? It's like, oh, it's very conveniently like timed up with the sub laps and all that. So that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, I think you said a lot of things throughout the entire thing you just said, Esfan, that like I wholeheartedly agree with. When you get to the point like time gating is fine. RNG is fine, right? But these are things that have obviously had negative connotations in World of Warcraft now. And it's because those systems have just gone too far. It's like
it's never been about if time gating is good or not. It's about if the type of time gating that was existing in the game during the conversation is good. So, for example, I think raid releases and raids not being available the entire time is a form of time gating. But that form of time gating is more acceptable than the form of time gating that we see with, let's say, the corruption vendor rotation. So you can't just look at time gating as just a universal value and then say that all time gating is the same, because there's plenty of time gating that most people would agree with is probably good for the game. Overall, adding in and creating elements of time gating that serve no purpose to the game other than to artificially extend gameplay is not good for the game, and that's the kind of time gating that people don't want to see. So, for example, the corruption vendor rotation, I disagree entirely with the idea that if you make somebody wait longer for something, they're going to inherently more enjoy it. I think that oftentimes people might resent you making them wait for something for an arbitrary reason that doesn't make any sense inside of the game mechanics. So just creating arbitrary benchmarks and arbitrary gatekeeping mechanisms to prevent people from running through the content is only going to serve to cause people to resent your game and dislike it faster, not slower. It doesn't matter if you don't have a chance to see it yet. If you're sitting there and you're just pissed off because you've got to sit there and wait for the content that you want to play to be available to you.
And Esfan also Esfan hit it on the head too. It kind of creates just this complacency, which ultimately makes people bored, which ultimately makes them quit. And I think one of the things that you've been getting at too with this question is just the idea of how do you make the player feel excited about the rewards that they're ultimately getting? Doesn't waiting longer make them feel more reward? I would counter that, yes, not getting it instantly is something that is very good. Withholding gratification is something that's very good. Tantric as fuck, all about it. That's the vibe, that's the lifestyle. But one of the best ways to make a player feel good about the rewards they get is to make it challenging, not annoying, challenging, and make it feel like something that, you know, the time gating comes with obtaining skill. And actually, like you don't just need to edge. You also need to have like the correct motion in the ocean to be able to get past certain things. Look at Mage Tower, for example. Mage Tower did get easier over time, right? It definitely did. But there were still things that you had to learn about how to master some of the different scenarios. And there were cool little moments where because you mastered it on one spec, you were able to more easily jump in on another spec. I thought that was something that players really gravitated towards.
Very well designed.
Yeah, it was great. And on an initial reaction, I think for a lot of people, was like, wait, they're reusing it for certain specs, and it actually ended up being something that I think was truly fantastic. So I think that challenge is something that's good. Annoyance is something that's bad. Time gating should exist, but the way that the time gating should exist should actually be meaningful and not just straight up, just nonstop speed bumps just for the sake of having speed bumps.
Yeah, and that's what I think that BFA has with a lot of circumstances. I'm okay with some degree of time gating, and I agree with what Rich is saying, and actually with Asmon was saying about not letting people kind of completely outpace you, and then there's no way for you to catch up. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that kind of like everyone gets a participation trophy then?
What do you
Like,
mean?
shouldn't the people who put more time into the game be more rewarded, I guess?
Well, that's what we're
To
saying.
what degree?
Yeah.
To what degree do you think they should be more rewarded? Do you think they should be more rewarded by being 5% more powerful, 10% more powerful? And how long should that power differential remain where the other person can't overcome it by playing more at the time that they are playing? So, for example, you're talking about, should the people that play more be rewarded? Should the, is it participation trophy? Not necessarily, because what if you participate in different times? That's how time gating becomes really complicated, and that's what the problem is with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I appreciate everything what you guys do for the community. Keep the hustle up, and much love. Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah. It was a really cool
That was a good
question.
question.
Yeah. That's a good thing to be thinking about, because it's
I
like,
think a lot of people like that they don't know, kind of like, it's like, okay, well, time getting is bad. Okay, but why, right?
well, it's also one of
that was
those
a really
things
good
too,
question.
where I think too, like, we use the blanket terms over and
that
over
your-
again.
Is that us?
I think that was us. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
I'll go get it.
We use these blanket terms that are buzzwords in the community, and we understand that it doesn't necessarily mean exactly what we're saying, right? Like with borrow powered, for example. What isn't borrowed power? And if you really get down to the crux of it and you start to think about all these different things, but the community has a really good sense when they use that a lot of what is meant by borrowed power and which particular things are being talked about. And you start to look at the legacy that happened during Legion. I loved Legion. Legion was a great expansion. But when you actually do start to talk about those things with time gating, yes, there is some really bad time gating, but there are also aspects of it that exist in the game that are not on the chopping block when we have those conversations. And some of the time gating is some of the time gating that does exist in this new expansion is kind of weird. Like actually having
Well,
a
it's
7.
completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
There's no reason for a 1 week cooldown for conduits to exist. The only
And
reason
two
it
week for
exists-
switching as well, right?
Yeah, it's an artificial throttling mechanism for Blizzard to obfuscate players from understanding how to best play their class, because they've decided that giving players the opportunity to get better at their class for whatever reason is no longer something they want people to do, because it adds a level of transparency to the game that they consider bad. That's what it is. And I don't like that. I think that it's stupid. I think it's counterproductive, and I think they're wrong.
Why are you guys saying beans? I don't get it. Monka W
Are you
loud
about to
slam.
get the mount? Wait, yo, are you about to get the mount?
Yeah, you wanna watch me get it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Just get it. Just get it. Where's it? Where is it? Where's the mount? I don't see it. Where's the mount? The fuck? Is that like a bug or something?
I actually thought the head of a Nixie was the mount.
It's not.
Yeah, I figured it out.
It's
Guys,
not
stop
the
saying
mount.
beans. Stop saying fucking cinnamon, dude. What? Why are you saying cinnamon? I think that they're using time as a way to like artificially. Okay, look. Have you ever hooked up with somebody or like dated somebody, you gone on a date with somebody, and then they try not to hang out with you again right away? You know they like you, but they try not to hang out with you again right away. They wait and then they text you later to hang out. More interesting than they actually are.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I got an idea.
Wait for. He just pointed at this and he said, "I have an idea for this."
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
What is your idea?
No, I'm saying that. No, that's not what I was. I was talking about something
Oh
else.
no.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I was talking about Discord. You can do video calls in Discord channels now.
Yeah,
While chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just changed it like a little while.
Oh, wow, that'd be great.
So, and then, yeah, we could just...
Oh, I thought you were pointing at the picture of,
No, I was pointing at Asmon.
Oh, my bad. Awkward. Wait, can you guys see?
Dude, what is going on here? What is your...
Dude, just don't touch anything. You could all break at any moment. It's not ideal. It's pretty bad, huh?
It's really bad.
Yeah, I just like that's why I'm gonna go home on Saturday just to make sure for Saturday and Sunday I have this set up, and then I think I'm gonna bring like a hard drive. It's just like not set up really well.
Yeah, you could just do... Oh, that's okay.
No, but I'm screen capturing that.
Yeah, but why don't you window capture it?
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, you're good.
I kind of want to show them what it looks
Howdy.
like so they're not confused. I feel like we're hiding information from them.
Dude, you're messier than Ginny is.
I'm not messier than
Yeah,
Ginny
you
is.
are, actually. This actually blows my mind.
This is what...
I thought Ginny was bad.
This is what my stream setup looks like. It's just like information overload. It's like kind of really rough. But I can still see what you guys are saying. I can see Zach, and yeah, I feel like everything's going pretty well. I feel like we're doing all right. It is weird not streaming, like in a place that you're used to streaming.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Like you always feel like somebody's behind you.
You know where I had a good time streaming, pretty good time streaming somewhere where I wasn't used to normally streaming comparatively, was DreamHack Sweden, Summer DreamHack.
Really?
They are so accommodating. I can't say enough good things about DreamHack.
I casted there and it was great.
Yeah.
Dude, Tim the Tapman just followed me. Yo, dude, thanks, Tim.
There it is.
That's Tim the Tapman see, this is your scuff setup. What is this? Tim the Tapman is my hero. Followed you.
When you move back there, it looks like it's Tim the Tapman.
Yeah, it's literally how he has it set up on his stream. It's on his screen. It's Tim the Tapman, and it's cut off, and you have to open it up. And I saw a little like one line of pixels, and you pull it up, and it's "Is my hero" whenever you stretch out the pixels. This guy freaking debated you so hard.
Can I see if Tim does follow me?
You don't want the answer to that question.
Is there a way I can check?
There actually is a way, technically.
How do I do that?
You click on somebody else and you do the pop out and you type in their name.
/user Tim the Tapman?
Wait, what? I didn't know you could do that. I do it the hard way. Nope.
Tim the Tapman. Well, he doesn't follow. He's never said anything.
Now do this. Type ! Watch time Tim the Tapman.
I spell it wrong.
Oh wait, you don't have the bot in your channel. What bot do you use? Do you stream on this bot?
Nightbot?
Oh, maybe Nightbot doesn't.
Asmongold has been following Rich for 2 years, 4 months, 1 week, and 4 days.
Cool.
We've been friends a lot longer than that, dude.
Well, I just always know whenever you're online.
Why?
I'll keep track of everybody.
I thought he was gonna say because it's as soon as he goes offline.
That's how it goes.
Oh man. All right, here let's pull in another caller. Wait, Jake, you're still here, bro?
Wait, Jake has been sitting here the whole time?
Jake, dude. What you doing, Jake? All right.
He's probably AFK.
Yeah, I don't think he's there. Move him to AFK channel. Are you tired, Zach?
I'm tired doing this pet battle dungeon.
Yeah, he's got his angry eyebrows.
Yeah, what you're upset about pet battles?
He's had his angry eyebrows on for a while now.
No.
Yeah, you did. You had and now he's trying to make him the happy eyebrows, but they were the angry eyebrows, dude.
Well,
how many pet battles did you lose, Asmon?
0 so far, but one of my pet died, and I didn't want it to die at the time that it did die, so that was pretty fucking stupid. But you know, here we are. Everything's okay.
Dude, you're manually eyebrowing right now. I feel like I like called you. You know how like somebody goes like, "Oh, dude, you're breathing fast," and then you're like,
Stop, not to leave.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah.
I feel like the second that somebody makes you pay attention to something random on your body, you just manually overtake that function. I feel like
You're trying to like overcompensate for it.
I feel like you're manually eyebrowing right now, and I feel terrible. But now literally every single person in chat is like in, out, dude. Your breathing is more delayed than Shadowlands. Dude, I still can't believe it. Like,
Really?
I knew that it should happen, but for them to actually do it and do it that way, I don't know. I don't know, and I think they waited for Allcraft. Are we egomaniacs? I actually think they waited for Allcraft.
Yeah, of course they did.
I think they used us.
Yeah, of course. It's a good idea. I mean, it's a great show. It's going to give them a lot of exposure. I mean, I really think they did the right decision.
Actually, be serious right now, chat. Say, I think they did, if you think that they waited for Allcraft, and be like, no way, Jose, if you don't think that they waited for Allcraft and it was just a coincidence. No way, Jose. I think they did. A lot of no way, Jose's. You do not spell Jose Hosay, by the way. They're like, no way, Jose. Yo, did you see the thing about Did you see the thing about the brain eating amoeba in the Texas water?
Yes, I saw it.
I just had to order like a bunch of water bottles to the place. I'm fucking freaked out.
I don't know. I feel like if I had that happen to me, I wouldn't even notice. It'd just be business as usual.
Just another amoeba.
Yeah. I think it would die if I got it.
Starved to death.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Is like really fucked up. Not about you. I'll message it to you later. Yo, Cucumber! Okay. Cucumber, how you doing? Oh, I said I was gonna, I'm gonna pull in Horizon next. Cucumber, how you doing?
Hey.
What up, there?
What made you name yourself Cucumber?
Well, way back in 8th grade when I made my WoW account, I thought it would be kind of funny. And then I accidentally, whenever I was typing it in, I typed it in too quickly. And I missed the second U and I didn't notice until later on, and I was like, well.
Oh, you're Cucumber.
Yeah.
I thought it was Cucumber. Yeah, I didn't realize you're Cucumber.
Did you think
Online.
Cucumber would be funny because it's the same shape as a dick?
I was in the 8th grade, so, I mean.
Yeah, tell me the truth.
I thought it would have been hilarious. So I decided to just surround myself with people like Rich here. Who's constant barrage of penis jokes, and I'm just like, I need to follow this guy.
Well, some things never change, right? What's your question?
Oh, say again?
What's your question?
Well, for me, I'm a very big mount collector myself, and I know you guys are too. And I guess one of the things I tend to ask my guildies a lot, which I guess to their annoyance sometimes, but like, if you guys could create your own mounts, like that's not already in the game or whatever, like what would you guys create? It doesn't have to be one, because for me, I think 2 very specific mounts could be implemented, and I think it would be really fun. Like in the Darkmoon Fair, I am just so surprised they have still not added like a seal mount with a little fez on top, where its mount special has like a ball balancing on its nose and it's clapping, or like a dancing elephant, that balances on a ball, I guess, I don't know, like an elephant from like a
so it'd be like a rolling elephant on a ball, man. That would be I don't want them to add that. It's gonna be like 10,000.
Oh no, that's for the mount special. Like it's just a regular elephant, like from the Dark Fair.
I like that idea a lot.
That's
really cool.
I don't know, and with the vote recently going on with that ended previously, what would you guys create if you had your own, if you had like full creative liberty with your own mount?
If I could add any mount, and Rich, go ahead.
No, you can go first. I already know what mine is. But wait, his mount is this boy, right? You want this in the game.
No,
You want this guy? You want to ride this guy with a little fez on his head, dude? Yeah, man.
Look,
But yeah, what mount do you want?
If I could add any mount into the game, I would go with a very basic horse and a very basic wolf. I would give one to Alliance and I would give one to Horde. I would then have customization options for both the Alliance horse and the Horde wolf. The customization options would be unlocked through completing other content in the game. So you would be able to get special things and special rewards in the game based off of the types of things that you complete inside of the game. So for example, like let's say you killed a Nyxia, you'd have a Nyxia's head, riding on the side of the horse. If you have you got Hero of the Alliance, you'd have maybe an Alliance banner on the side of the horse. If I could make anything happen, that's what it would be.
Nah, dude. That's like getting the ability to fly for one day and being like, I'm gonna fly to the same place I drive to every day. Here's what I would do. I would get like the hottest, right? The guy version and a girl version of the mount. Just a winged hottie, right? For me, like a real, like she'd be thick and
wait, like how the Kyrian, how you ride on a Kyrian?
No, but she's got claw feet, and you're in her claw. And it's a 2-person mount, and she insults the person who didn't summon her, like you useless, and she's got wings.
Okay,
and
I could see that.
Yeah, and she holds you like in her feet. But then there's a guy version too, and it's just like Sony Digital.
Okay,
with
so
wings.
Here's what I would say. If I have to actually come up with something that's like a legit thing, what I would want to see is I would want to be able to make a train. And so you would be able to have the starting train thing, and everybody would be able to get like maybe the train cart, but it would be extremely difficult to actually get the conductor's piece, and you would need the conductor's piece in order for the train carts to move. But if you had the conductor's piece and then you attach the beginning of the conductor's piece, you could have everybody else behind you in your raid group attach their train cart to your conductor's piece, and you could drag all of them around in a multi-person mount that was like a snake.
Yeah. And it like, I actually thought that Hive Mind was kind of going to work like that. That's why I was excited for Hive Mind, but it like didn't. That's really cool. And then if you do it with enough people, you get an achievement in the game called Running Train with the Boys.
Yeah, running a train with the boys, exactly. I like that.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Go ahead, Cucumber.
Oh yeah. And I was thinking like if you're gonna have a multiple person mount, like I would think it would be really cool to add like a chariot mount in the game, like for PvP or something, where you can get with your PvP partner, and you got you'd have two like horses or wolves or whatever, maybe some like two combination of vicious mounts pulling you throughout the arena, and you could like jump down like in.
I told people about this like the same thing with the chariot, but what I wanted it to be the 500 mount achievement mount. And instead of horses on the chariot, you get to pick the mounts, your favorite mounts, to be the horses or the mounts that pull your chariot.
Didn't you tell me that off stream? Where you were talking about that?
I said on stream.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, dude. I think that idea is. I was literally gonna bring it up the second you said chariot. I was literally gonna be like, Asmon, you remember that one idea? Yeah, no, I think that would be sick. Like, imagine if you actually like.
I love the chariot.
Yeah, chariot would be so fucking sick. It doesn't even need to be a chariot. I think any time that you actually get to select a combination of mounts together would just be super cool. I mean, think about hunter pets, right? And how cool it is to pick two different hunter pets, and how unique it feels. Because look, there are how many mounts in the game?
A lot.
At the end of the day, somebody else has one of those mounts. The unique combinations that you could come up with would be your own, and it would be a way to make the oversaturated mount marketplace feel fresh.
It's the quadriflex, right? And so you'd have 4 of them, and so you have like imagine being a PvPer and having your chariot mount pulled by 4 gladiator mounts that are all separate.
How many? Okay, so you know how like bobsleds have like just like a whole bunch of doggos? Yeah. Like how many do you think you could have on one chariot before it was out of control?
I think that you could do 4, and then if you got to 600 mounts, you would add 2 more. So 6 total if you had 600 mounts.
Wow. Yeah. I think that even if it's not mount collection, I think like naturally mount collection should be the thing that allows you to have more, right? Because the mount collectors are inherently going to care about it the most. But I think like the more mounts that you collect, the bigger your fucking train gets. Holy shit, Santa Claus RP Pog. Yo, dude, that would be so... Imagine just everybody during, like, the holiday season going around, like, and actually... Like, that's the thing. Like, you can make full-on themes. Oh, God, that's awesome.
Exactly. It would be lit.
Yeah, and I think it could even work pretty well with flying as well, like being able to fly around. Because whenever people were doing the flying chariot, the first thing I thought it was Hermes rather than, like, pulling the sun rather than... or pushing the sun. I forgot which one it is, but like Hermes went across the sky with the sun in a chariot. But yeah, and like but however, I think certain mounts would probably be a little bit obnoxious with the chariot, like the Iron Hope Destroyer from BlackRock Foundry. I think that would be kind of a little awkward. So they might need to restrict what kind of mounts you can put on your chariot, or make your chariot
be like horse type mounts or something like that.
Yeah.
Yo, Cucumber. I
Yes,
just want to say, you're fucking cool as hell.
Oh, thank you. I think you guys are really cool as well.
I like
Thank you,
Cucumber.
Man. We love talking about mount ideas, man. Like, there's so many cool mounts that they could add into the game. I'd love to see it. I think they should do more mounts that like incorporate other people and are just like more unique and customizable. Because like just adding a new mount into the game is not really that interesting, I feel, at this point, because there's just so many that already exist.
That was the thing with Hive Mind that felt really unique, right? I was like, holy shit! Like, are you only going to be able to use it with certain people, and then like you can do a quest with different people, so you can have a faster mount when you're with them, or something like that? Like, there seemed like there was a lot of potential there, and I think doing unique things with mounts is something that they very much need to do. Wait. Oh, sorry. I just got, dude. Thank you for the 250, guys. I want to just say, people have given hundreds and hundreds of dollars tonight to ask to get in the viewer call-ins, and like I don't want that to be a thing. I love money. Like, I actually fucking love money so fucking much. I love money more than anything else in the entire world. I love it more than people. I love it more than food. But viewer call-ins, I want everybody to get in, and I want it to be a level playing field for everybody. And I like you can't just donate a bunch of money and get in the call unless it's like $10,000, right? I'm just kidding. Like, seriously, don't donate money to get pulled into to the call-ins. Thank you so much, Codecraft, for the $250, and thank you, Horizon, for the $200. I am gonna pull you guys in, but I'm like, I don't want this to be a thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm very thankful. I just don't want people to
donate to get in.
Yeah. But I also don't want to scam people who donated to get in.
No. Anybody that's donating to get in that's dipshittery. I don't like that.
Yeah, I just like, I feel bad. I don't want to say goodbye to Cucumber yet.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you guys one thing that for me, the reason I got into mount collecting, and like, and I also collect, toys, pets, achievements and stuff, the vanity items, because I mean, I enjoy raiding. I'm a cutting edge raider, but like, my first prerogative was, man, I gotta get that all-seer mount, and it's like, so that was my goal, and I really enjoy mount collecting because it opens up the game to me, because even certain types of aspects like PvP, I am not the best at PvP. I'm not the most patient, and I'm like not the best at playing. So it's just like forcing me to like go after the vicious mounts or perhaps the honor mounts, and just like going into battlegrounds, and it's like it opens up avenues for me that I wouldn't normally have thought of. Like, oh yeah, let's go out and kill like go out and kill people for the Ash-eyed Mushan beast, or perhaps farm out this 100 reputations, and how am I gonna, which reputation should I farm first? And then it's like, it just so many different things that I would have never thought I would enjoy or even cared to do, just because there's a mount lock behind it. I'm like, oh, I got to go do that, and like I've spent thousands upon thousands of hours just going after mounts and then telling people about these mounts, and it's like, oh, I don't care, Cucumber. And I'm like, or like, hey, how did you do that? Where'd you get that mount? And then it's like, oh, then I convert people to the church of mount farming. Like recently, my guild has really gotten into starting to do more like vanity collections, transmog mount farmings, because I was like, oh yeah, if you do this, that, and the other, you can get this mount, this mount, this mount. And like yesterday, a buddy of mine has been trying to farm out the Emerald Drake, await the Drake's achievement, and he was going after Onyxia for so long. And eventually he finally gets it yesterday, and we just like hype it up. We're going crazy. And then he was like, all right, time to go for Malagos. And then he goes to Malagos. He only needs the blue Drake. Like 2 hours later, like Fabosaurus has earned the blue Drake. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Everybody's going
Fabosaurus, dude. My man.
I bet he would be after that, dude. 2 mounts in one day. Holy shit.
What else you gonna do?
With the Onyxian Drake, and then just blew his load with the blue Drake. But now he's the blazing
Fabosaurus, dude. Oh man, yeah. How long? Out of curiosity, how long have you been part of, as you say, the mount farming church, the Church of Mount Farming? How long have you been a mount farmer?
Probably since I started in Cataclysm. Because for me, whenever I first started playing the game, I was not exactly the most rich person, I guess. I didn't have enough money to actually make a subscription, so I had the level 20, starter edition. You can play as long as you want at level 20, but you can't do anything else. You can only have 10 gold and whatever. So I was like, okay, what do I do? And I would just I'd get the tabards, and I'd start queuing up for level 20 dungeons, and then I'd get my exalted reputations, and I'd use like the 10 gold limit that you had, and just bought all the mounts on cooldown, and just like trying to get as many as I could. And same thing with the companion pets, because they weren't battle pets back then. And I would just go out and try to explore as much as Azeroth as possible, and try to get all the mounts and pets that I could. And I remember buying my first mount. It was going to be the Black Warwolf, because that was the coolest of the Warwolves in Orgrimmar, on my level 20 Orc Hunter. And I went over to buy it, and like I have at most 10 gold, and the original Black Warwolf is like 80 silver. So that's a good chunk of gold right there, or a chunk of the money. So I buy it, and I look at my collection. I'm like, where is it? So I go buy it again, and I look again. I'm like, where is it? And I bought like 3 of them, and then I realized that. I look at my bags, and I'm like, oh. So, I mean, from that first misstep, like, I just loved getting into mount farming. And then I remember my first, like, collected, rare drop mount, I guess you could say, is the Drake of the North Wind. I went over there because I was like, okay, what's a really easy mount to farm, I guess. So, and it's like, hey, that Vortex Pinnacle, you can kill this guy over and over again. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went over there. This was later on in Mr. Pandaria, when I finally got into subscription and got to max level. And I was like, the first thing I want to do is start collecting mounts.
What the heck?
Yeah, I know. And I went over and I showed my brother, and I was like, hey, dude, look at this Drake. Isn't this so cool? Look at his chin. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. And then my brother goes up, and he does it in 2 attempts, and he gets the mount. And I'm like, I felt like, oh, man, I got so many more attempts. And I look back on it now with hundreds of attempts on other mounts, and I'm like, dude, it's not even a big deal. Like,
yeah, you had it so easy.
Oh yeah, both of us had it so easy, and we were like, it was a good time. And although not like my brother and my friend, like they much prefer PvP like aspect of the game, and that's like, oh, arenas, BGs, and I'm like, but dude, I'm farming up the Shatari Skyguard so I can get my raids, man, and I'll be back in 12 hours whenever I'm done exalted. And but yeah, it's. Yeah,
I think that's the best thing about mount farming is it gives you like all this other content in the game to do. It's the same as like achievement farming is like you're playing the whole game and not just like a small part of it. And I think that's what the best thing about it really is in my mind.
Yeah, like it opens up all the avenues that you normally probably wouldn't even think, like, oh yeah, let's do this for fun, And that's why I've never really minded, rep grinding or trying to go after those little things, because it's just like, there's a main goal, and it's just to get me that +1 and to be able to mount up on all these different things. And then whenever people's like, hey, Cucumber, how many mounts do you have? After me talking about it, it's like, oh yeah, I have 523 usable mounts, whatever. And it's just like, oh dude, it's like, how? And I'm like, well, I mean, this is my end game. It's for the same reason why people are like, oh yeah, how did you get cutting edge? It's like, well, you work through all this stuff, and then you eventually get it. And just over time, and people like at least in my guild, I'm the one with the most achievements, pets, mounts and stuff. They always are so surprised, and I'm like, nah, dude. Just imagine, I started in Cataclysm. I've been doing this for nearly 10 years. Of course, I would have if that's my main prerogative for 10 years straight playing WoW.
Yeah, of course
I'm gonna have a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had a blast mount farming, pet farming, collecting things, because like for me, like you say, Asmongold, mounts are forever.
Yeah,
like gear
exactly.
strand.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter what gear you get, like that's just gonna get deleted anyway. Like who cares? Like if you had a mount like now, that shit's gonna be the same mount in 10 years.
Exactly.
It's like, it might be a little bit less rare, but sometimes they're more rare based off of what they are. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I look back on all the people who have the the ZG mounts, the original ones, and I'm just like, man, I wish I played in that time because like I told you, I started a cat with
buy them off the black market.
Oh yeah, that's one of the deals. Like, I'm not the best at making gold either. So because normally I spend my gold on WoW time, and whenever I play just naturally, just do my regular mount farms in the week, or just play the game without like grinding out gold specifically, I make about 150,000 gold a month, and I spend that to buy a WoW token. So I don't really gain or lose that much money, throughout an expansion.
Like a static amount. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I started selling visions way back in March to buy my Longboy, and because I saw like I was looking through all the mounts I could collect. I'm like, man, I want that Longboy, and I tried farming out Blackrock Foundry for raw gold farming, and that's
a mistake.
Oh yeah, because I had like 19 120s at the time, and I'm like, okay, if I do this 19 times a week, three times like per character, normal, heroic, and mythic, I could do it 57 times a week, and about 7,000 gold. That's like 148,000 gold a week, and I'll be able to get it by October. So I would still be farming probably Blackrock Foundry if I did that, and I was in my first week after 21 individual runs, so 7 characters total. I was like, I would rather play in traffic than continue doing this. So I had to do something else, and I decided, I'm a pretty geared hunter, BM hunter, and I was like, okay, maybe I could start selling visions. And then I make a couple characters on a couple different servers, and I start advertising. And eventually I got to the point where I was selling a lot of visions on Thrall, and I eventually made all 5 million gold I needed on Thrall, and I was like, I got my mount. I made a class trial, sent it over, and then bought it there in Zoldasar, and I was so happy. And then eventually I was like, well, you know what? I still have a few months. Let's see how much gold I can get. So overall, I think I made about 8 million gold selling visions. Many visions.
Dude. See, that's what you need to do. Like if you do that, and then like you just keep making the gold and hold on to it, like that's gonna matter so much because like like WoW tokens are gonna go up, everything like that, and so you'll be able to buy that mount probably like early in Shadowlands next time that shit pops up. Like you can probably like if you got like 4 mil ready for it, you'll probably be able to snipe it unless you're on like a really high pop server.
Yeah, I'm on Zul'jin, so it's pretty competitive.
Yo, Cucumber.
Yes, sir.
I fucking love you, man.
I love you guys too.
Dude, like no joke, you remind me of everything that used to make me happy in this game. You remind me of me when I was like truly supremely happy. And I love you. Like, you're my dude.
Thanks. Yeah, I just like I try to, even in times of drought, it feels like in BFA and even in WoD, I always try to make sure that I don't know, I have an outlook of just like, hey, you know what? The content itself may not be something people are just, I want to do Mechagon or farm out my essences. And I'm like, oh, dude, don't make that your prerogative, man. Just think about it like this. Whenever you get out your essences, that'll make it easier to do the content you want to do, and then it's just like, for me, like all the gear that I get, trying to farm out, like cutting edge and stuff. Cause I mean, like that's another goal of mine. For me, like my main goal is to get ahead of the curve. And I'm like, okay, I'm done for the season or for the tier, and anything more is always a bonus. It's something good. And then that with mythic gear, that means it'll make my mount farms even easier.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to go out and do the things I want to do. And
But you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
And that's why I get so surprised whenever people say, oh, BFA is awful or the worst expansion ever. And I'm like, well, I mean, I played in Warlords, and Warlords I feel like is what BFA feels like right now. I mean, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot to do, and there's a lot of like wait time. There's not a whole lot going on. And it's just like Warlords for me felt like the end of expansion for the entire expansion. And that's why I feel like I don't know if I could handle a whole nother expansion like that, because I do enjoy these little interim periods where there's not a whole lot going on and there's not a lot of obligations. Like, okay, I don't have to come up to raid night every Wednesday and Thursday because you know we cleared out the raid, we're good, you know, and we're just waiting for Shadowlands. And I feel like, okay, that means gives me more time to farm out the Mechagon Peacekeeper, you know, or help my friends get their mounts and stuff like that and their own achievements. And because like I want to encourage them to do the content that they normally wouldn't do, because it gives me people to talk to about, like, oh, hey, did you get this mount today? It's like, oh yeah, or I'm going after this. And because like a buddy of mine, the same guy, Fatvosaurus, he got into mount farming, and I helped him get up to 100 mounts. And I'm like, okay, 150 before Shadowlands, and it's like, all right, we'll see where we go. And the next thing you know, it's like 3-4 weeks later, 150 mounts, and I'm like, okay, 100. It's like, because I would just pull up a simple armory, and I'm like, you could get this, that, in like 20 minutes. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's like, and because I think like the first about 250 mounts are, at least at this point, are pretty easy. It doesn't take too long because you have a bunch of rep mounts, you have a bunch of just like vendor mounts and stuff like that. Like you don't get to the point where you're only going after drop mounts for a very long time. And I always got caught in the trap of saying I'm running out of mounts to farm. Like I did that way back at 300 mounts. I said that 350 mounts, 400, 450, 500, and now I'm at like 520 something. And I'm like, I'm feeling the pain. I'm feeling the tinge right now. It's like, ooh, I might be running out of mounts to farm. Then I look at my uncollected ones, and I'm like, oh, well, I can get Molly. Oh, I can get the Mechagon Peacekeeper. Oh, I can get this. I could get.
Are you doing the lockout sharing with Mechagon Peacekeeper? Or you just do the whole run?
I just do Mythic Plus.
So you just run it over and over that way, dude. See, like I was thinking about that, but like then I started getting with other people, and like whenever I wasn't doing it on stream, we had like a friend of ours that had the lockout. And we just share it and just like go in there with our shitty alts and just kill the last boss over and over and over. It hasn't dropped for any of us though.
Yeah, I'm really struggling with that. This is the last dungeon mount that I need to drop for BFA. Like my first one was Under Rock Krog, and I got that after like 30 something attempts, which was like hype. And then later on I farmed out Freehold over and over and over again. I think it only took like 147 attempts or something. And then once I got done with the Freehold, because the cool thing about the Freehold mount was that our healer in the previous run, it was a 3 Freehold. Our healer didn't drink. So we got stuck at the council boss because they were just trucking everybody because we had to fight 3 of them. And then the healer left, and I'm like, the key's gone. And I was like, okay, I'll stay for the 2 because all I really care about is getting them out. It dropped in that next run. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And the best part about it was, I'm like, all right, time to go farm King's Rest. I go over to King's Rest, and literally back-to-back dungeons, I got the Freehold mount, then the King's Rest mount. Like that. It was just like, and now I'm going after the Mechagon Peacekeeper. And shortly after I got the, Lord of Rains Discord server for Soundless Pings, I got that. I got like 40 kills in like 3, 4, 5 days, and I got Silent Glider, and I'm like, I'm busting out all these things, and I'm like, oh, crap.
I've got to go farm that right now, dude. I forgot all about that fucking thing, man. Like, that mount is such a pain in the ass. How many did it take you?
It only took me 61 attempts, although I've heard horror stories of people saying like
700.
Yeah, 700, 800, 900. And I'm like, dude, I was thinking sometimes when I would go on my walk, for my occasional exercise, it's just like, oh man, I wonder if I'll get the Silent Glider in fewer than 100 attempts. That would be nice. And the best part about it was I was actually going to help my buddy get the Fatvosaurus get the rest of the Karaji battle tanks he was missing, because I was like, dude, you only need like 8 mounts, and you were missing 2 of the Karaji battle tanks. Come on, let's go. And so I got a ping, and I was like, oh, I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go kill Soundless one more time. And it's like, okay, and then bam, Silent Glider. I'm almost so although a part of me feels sort of like I'm robbed, though, whenever I get it in I get it so easily.
You feel like the emptiness. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, now what?
Yeah, and I'm running, and I feel like now I'm running out of things to get, which I think is a good thing, because I'm just crossing off another thing on my list.
The thing is, though, is like you're never gonna run out of shit to get. Like, if you have 523, like what am I at? I'm at 602, and like I still have plenty more to go.
Oh, so that was just in my single player or single character. Total was 570.
Okay, yeah. So you still even then, like, you still got way fucking more to go.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I have a lot
I
of
mean, like,
ambitious
do you
mounts.
have the Mists of Pandaria, the world boss
World
mounts?
bosses? No, I've started farming them
See,
every
that's
week.
that's what you need to do. Like, it's actually not efficient to farm them. It's much more efficient. So, like, if you take how much time investment do you take per character into farming out the Mists of Pandaria world boss mounts? Because do you farm the frogs for the coins or no?
No. Actually, I only do it on my
You
main
should
character.
only do if you like every single time investment that you make on that, it will never be more efficient than farming gold and buying it. Because 1 in 2,000, if you multiply 1 in 2,000 by 15 minutes, which is going to be arguable like time that you're going to spend per each boss, like assuming that you wait for one full rotation, like 15 minutes times 2,000. Think about how many hours that is. Then you combine that amount of hours into your average gold per hour. Then you look at how much gold per hour you could just make by selling visions or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I did the math and it was like, no fucking way I was going to farm those mounts. Like, I'll do now like once or twice a week and that's it.
Yeah. That might be something worth considering because
Yeah.
this point, I was just doing the world bosses as a, oh hey, I mean it's something to do, because I don't really have much else left. It's like might as well just get my kill for the week and see what happens, because
That's
I've
what I
seen
do.
somebody get it
Yeah,
in 23 attempts, and I've seen it, but I've also seen somebody on the Secret Finder Discord with over 7,000 attempts on
See,
Shaw
that's the
alone.
thing, dude. Is
And I'm
like,
just
there's no way I would ever do that. Like, that's fucking insane. And like, it's not even that unreasonable because like, if you multiply, so 1 out of 100, right? Like, how many people have gotten 300 or 400 attempts on a mount that's 1 out of 100? Plenty of people. So 1 out of 7,000, you extrapolate that number because it's 1 out of 2,000 is actually the same number between 1 and 350.
I'm gonna get the mount. I'm fucking gonna. I've been standing at shot this whole time. I'm gonna get the mount. I'm gonna make you fucking guys look like stupid ass nerds. I'm gonna get the mount right fucking now, dude.
You're not gonna get it, dude.
You can talk all your stupid numbers, you dumbass. I'm gonna get the mount right now. I'm gonna get it.
1,000 subs if you get the mount.
If I get the mount, you're giving me 1,000 subs,
1,000
dude.
subs.
Get that credit card ready, dude. Get it fucking ready, dude. I'll get it right now. I'll get it right now.
100%, because if it doesn't drop this week, it'll drop next week.
Zion's not gonna get him. Guarantee it's not gonna happen. Bro, like, that scared the fuck out of me. Like, that scared the fuck. I swear.
That looked like the mount, right?
That looked like the fucking.
That looked like the fucking mount, dude.
For a second, dude, I gasped. I was like, oh.
Damn, that would have been 5,000 big ones. That way, wow, dude, that motherfucker looks like the mount.
Yeah. I think they do that, dude. Do you, like, Cucumber, do you think they do this shit on purpose where they add items into the drop table that share a very similar look with the mount itself that drops to debate people? I think they fucking do it. My mom realized this. I think they fucking do it on purpose.
And you're also thinking about the ring from Mechagon?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like, to be honest, I prefer not to think that they're doing that maliciously, that it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna really get some people, and then disappoint them real fast. But like, I wouldn't doubt that there's somebody in there who is sadistic. It's like, you know what? Let's mess with these people a little bit.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. That's exactly what I think they're doing.
So you're telling me I could just buy this mount?
Yeah, you just buy it off us.
Yeah, I think the hard, like I told you before, like, I don't really actually actively farm gold most of the time. Like, my biggest income was Visions this expansion, and I've spent literally all of it on 3 mounts. I bought the Bruisaur, and then I bought Jaina before it got really cheap. I feel really bad about that because I was never expecting.
Like, what? Like, why? Yeah, that was a huge mistake. But it is what it is.
I still don't have Jaina.
Back whenever it was worth like $1 million gold, there wasn't a skip for it. People, I don't know if anybody. We actually didn't do the cheese way of doing it, and I was like, I was not expecting them to put in the skip and stuff. So I was thinking, and at the same time, I had enough gold at that time where if I sent all my gold on Thrall over to Zul'jin, I would have enough gold to buy the Brutosaur if I never made another gold off of Vision. So I was like, I felt comfortable buying it then. And I also spent my last 2 million gold because I spent 1 million gold on the chain amount, and then I spent another 2 million on my Nihilith the Allseer because my guild only killed it twice, and I didn't get it on either one. And for me, N'Zoth, I think, is going to be another kill Jaden for the next 2 years. I do not think N'Zoth will be killable for another year and a half, like end of the expansion, Shadowlands.
You mean like
because of the squish?
So why would it not be killable?
Because of the
Sanity
squish
mechanic.
Oh, sanity. Oh, true.
Like people won't die to damage, or healing or lack of healing, whatever. It'll just be people not doing anguish correctly. It'll be people messing up their necks. It'll be people not putting their necks in for the explosion in the secret phase. It'll just be all these different combination of things, like people like messing up Psychus or whatever. Like it's I think it's such a mechanically heavy fight that I'm convinced that N'Zoth will not be killable for another year and a half or 2 years after Shadowlands released, because
I can see why you say that. I think that the only possibility would be that he would be killable because you could burn him down in his vulnerability phase. But I don't know how much damage you'd really need to take him to like 20 or what phase. Like, does he do it by health for like the secret phase?
I think it's a reasonable bet.
I remember in the world first phase there was a bug on N'Zoth with that limit ran into getting him to 25%, because there's supposed to be a mechanic where it's like it puts him into invincibility at 25% regardless of the time left on his thing, to force you into the secret phase. So it could very well, if people can get the first Psychus phase down and then just blast him down to 25%, go through the secret phase and then come out and kill him really fast, perhaps. But I was just thinking that I don't know how many competent groups would be able to do something like that, at least for another few months. So I didn't want the possibility of waiting 2 years just to start farming it for.
Yeah, I remember whenever we did KJ, as soon as BFA came out, and it was such a fucking disaster. Like it was so bad. Are you farming the transmog gear from Nazjatar? Like, because I've been trying to farm out the stuff out of the laboratory of Mordavas, and holy shit, it's fucking annoying.
Oh,
like,
no,
do you know how it works?
You have to like get different combinations of the materials, and then you can summon each boss, which drops a different, unique item. Right?
Yes. Like not only do you have to kill each boss, but each one drops you different unique item. And I don't know right now if you're able to. If you're able to do it on other characters. So like, for example, like, can I get like the bow on my warrior or something like that? Because I've only done the ones that would drop for my warrior specifically, so I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I like transmog tends to be. I have a list of, or like a order of what I like to collect. For me, at the top is mounts, and it goes to pets, and then it goes to toys and achievements, and then transmog is at the bottom, because I main a hunter, so it's just like there's not a whole lot of pickings for awesome looking transmog for hunters. And
you just throw on a bow and take your shirt off. Like, that's how you make a hunter look cool.
Much,
look at that.
There's like 1 or 2 sets that I've managed to throw together that I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And other than that, though, I focus on transmog at the last thing as I collect, because for me, I was just like, I could just be doing Mechagon right now over and over on like in 2s or 3s, and rather than farming out some transmog. Like, if nothing else, whenever people say, hey, who wants to come to Tumas Argaris Mythic with me? And I'm like, I could go for some transmog there. Might as well finish out that.
What I do is I'll go if I think it's like unique type of run. So like, if I know like, okay, yeah, like nobody ever runs this shit, like then I'll want to go and do it, because I'll know that that'll be like my opportunity, like my chance to be able to get something good. You know what I mean?
So Rich, like, why do you really like mount farming? I know we, like, Asmon and I explained our reasonings, like what got you into mount farming, because I know you have your own fair share of like mounts. Like, I see you on the Felsteel Annihilator a lot, and
I like gambling.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Shut up, dude. Yeah, it's true. It's actually really bad, and this is the healthiest gambling I can do. So honestly, I probably have my house because of mount farming. I don't have a house. I actually don't even have a house. I rent. But yeah, no, it gives me like it gives me like that rush, man. Like when I actually think I experience. I know Asmon talks about it a lot, but I remember when I got Elegon. I was so upset. I actually messaged Jasmine. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to stream anymore, because I was streaming casually at the time. And after I got that mount, I was just like, yeah, I think I'm done. Like, I was like, what am I going to do next?
I mean, it's all over now.
I loved farming that mount, man. I'm so scared to get invincible.
Farming Elegon, dude. Farming Elegon sucked.
Well, it was because I wanted the mount so bad. Like, I wanted that mount so bad that it was so...
Never even ride it.
Yeah, I don't ride it anymore, huh? But it was my favorite mount when I got it. Yeah, I don't ride it anymore. I'm kind of over it, but I have it. I think about it a lot. I'm never going to ride Invincible. Like, if I get Invincible, I'm never going to ride it. But, like, I need to get it. I'm going to cry when I get Invincible at this point.
I got Invincible so early in Cataclysm. Everybody thought I got it in Wrath, and so it was, like, a huge flex item. It was the best feeling ever to have everybody just, like, targeting you, inspecting your mount, like, telling you how good you are. Like, oh, my God. Yeah. It was the biggest fucking ego boost that you could ever believe. Oh, no, dude.
What, dude?
I just did the boss in Nazjatar. Like, I try to do it every week to get the transmog for it, but the thing is, I need 7 items from this boss, and I have to kill it on, like, 8 different characters a week. Like, I don't even know, like, at a certain point, there's, like, items that I kind of chase after, and other items that I just kind of do at my own pace. And I feel like this might be an item that I should just do at my own pace. Like, this seems insane. Because, like, I don't know, like, the way I look at it is that I don't know if you do things like this, Cucumber, but, like, I will look at things that will become easier and harder in the next expansion.
Yep.
Prioritize those. So, like, for example...
PvP Island for mine.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really great example. It's like the only people doing PvP Islands in Shadowlands are going to be, like, super turbo nerds. So it's like there's no way that you're not going to struggle against those people. But, like, if you're just doing them now, like, you're going up against, like, 100% clowns.
Yeah, I have, like, a 95% win rate. It's just bring a tank. I'm there as a BM hunter with rapid reload, and we bring a third schmuck, and we just, like, pull half the island, and then it's just, like, we have 16,000, they have 3, and then we go kill them for the last 2,000. It's just like, hey, we win again.
Yeah,
there are some things, as much as I love collecting, that I just will never do out of principle, and islands is one of those things. I did like 2 islands, and the first one I got that fucking bird, and Zach was so pissed, and that's my favorite mount of all time because of it. But besides that, like, I won't fucking do it. I won't do it. I won't farm them. I refuse. Oh, I actually need this one still. I still need this guy. Or no, wait.
Which one?
Wait, yeah, this is the one I need, right? Is this the mythic one?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I didn't get mine yet.
Oh my God, I got the fucking sword.
Big rats.
There it is.
Oh shit. Wait, shit. Yes? You got the item that you were saying you were going to do at your own pace?
No. That I'm gonna have to get. I got the sword. I can't show you guys on screen.
Wait, no, just whisper it to me.
I'll link it to you.
Yeah, I didn't get the Nyloth Allseer yet, did I? I'm trying to remember if I got it.
All right. Show everybody.
Yeah, I'll show. Show
over.
Wait, I think my head's in the way.
Shit, dude. I'm so happy. I've never.
That's actually pretty cool. What is it? Little shells on it?
Little barnacles, yeah.
Is it that samurai-looking sword?
No, I already have that one.
It's the barnacle-y boy.
I got the 2-handed one a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna start running this on, like, every character now and just, like, finishing up all this stuff. Like, I'm still missing a lot of, like, really easy things. Apparently, I don't have the... I'm gonna just go buy this. I'll buy this probably next time whenever I go over here. Like, I've been trying to get this, like, going to need a bigger bag achievement, but, like, I'm still missing 2 items, and I've been farming these Voidcaster supply bags. Oh my God. I've spent, like, probably 8 hours, 12 hours farming these female Naga to get the item, and I just still haven't had a drop. It's insane. I'm going crazy doing this.
Which item?
So basically, there's a search. Give me the biggest bag you've got. That's the achievement.
Wait, what?
Search the achievement.
Wait, yeah, what was it called? Yeah, what was it called though?
Biggest bag, and it's called "Give me the biggest bag you've got." You only have 15,000 achievement points.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that.
Okay, so you have to get every single item, and so I'm missing 2.
How many achievement points do you have?
I don't really have that many. I have 32,600.
Yeah, basically the same as me.
Yeah.
I have so many where it's like, if I get one more check mark, I get it.
Yeah, that's not like that one though.
Yeah, not this one. No, but look, I'll click on a random one. Like, watch this.
Okay.
But hey, guys, I think it would be cool to get probably someone else in here to ask their
For
question.
sure, man.
I
We
feel like
really
we're taking a lot of
appreciate
time.
your we appreciate your time, man. And
Of course, I really appreciate you guys bringing me in. It was really awesome talking with y'all. And if you ever want to just chat again, just like I'll be in the Discord or whatever. And yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah,
all right,
Cucumber.
man. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Yes, sir. Catch you guys later.
Peace, Cucumber. Dude, that was fucking awesome.
I've got to
That
level
was
up my
fun.
whole peer round.
Dude,
Is somebody on Moonguard that can get me gold.
By the way, look, I randomly fucking clicked, and look, like there's just one
You don't
left.
have that? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but like there's just one left. I just never did it because I didn't care.
Don't do it.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like I got other shit, you know.
What are you waiting for?
Well, you know, like I get in the middle, like I'm doing it, and then somebody goes, "Rich, you're 4 feet tall," and I go, "No, I'm not. I can prove right now I'm not
You
4
have to
feet
stand
tall."
up for it. Oh
I
my God.
fucking dude. Did you see the other day? I tried to prove how tall I was yesterday.
That's not good.
I had to.
Oh, because of the picture. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, but I proved my height, but now people are saying that toilet paper rolls are a different size than they actually are.
Yeah, sure.
I stacked up a bunch of toilet paper rolls to show how tall I am.
Let's do a Draenor pet battler.
Can you tell them how tall I am?
He's like 5'4".
What did you fucking do? Come on, dude. What are you fucking... Why are you lying? That's not even...
5'6".
What the fuck are you doing, dude? I'm like the same height as you. You're such a fucking bitch ass, dude.
Yeah, we're the same height.
You're a little bit taller than me, but not
Yeah,
much.
like a half inch.
Why are you saying it like that?
Yeah, it's really close.
Why are you fucking saying it like that, dude?
So true.
No, but now you're saying the fucking truth, but you're saying it like it's not true, and now they're all gonna think that that's not true.
If you think that it's not true that much, maybe it's not true.
No, it's not. No, you're doing it. You're fucking trying. You're.
No, I'm not doing that.
You are fucking doing that. You're making it so they'll never think that I'm tall.
Oh, dude. It's just you don't have to be insecure about it. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter. And look at Tyler 1. That guy's doing great.
Dude,
that's all he is.
Wait, doesn't this look like Tyler 1's head, by the way?
Yeah, it does. That's the best fucking combination, dude. Or best fucking
It's
combination.
actually, it's supposed to be round, but it's just not, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, thank you for another $80. Jesus fucking Christ. $280. Jesus fucking Christ. I gotta change the. Oh my God, dude, $280. You know what I can buy with that?
What do you buy?
You know what I can buy with that?
What do you buy?
What do you think I can buy with that?
I don't know. What do you buy with it?
It's fine. He doesn't know, dude.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. All right. Look. I'm not pulling you in because you gave me $280, but I said that I would pull you in after the first donation. I'm a man of my word. Nobody else donate money to get in ever. Please. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Let's bring him in. Yeah.
Yo,
gentlemen, how are you?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Doing fantastic. Just want to address that I've actually donated both of you guys for a really long time, and I actually have something special, Asmon, for whenever you do that PO box thing at your own speed. I actually have something really cool planned for that, but that's another thing later. I told myself if I ever
wait, type it to me right now, please. I won't tell him. Like I keep secrets from him all the time.
Can keep a secret.
Yeah, I can keep a secret.
Rich, actually, don't tell me.
I won't.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Why? Yeah, but I want to know.
But cheers to both of you. Like I said, I've been watching the stream for a really long time. I've donated both of you guys multiple times, and I absolutely love y'all's content. I want to open this by saying that I think that both of you guys actually represent a good portion of the community for Blizzard and for WoW. I think that even though differences of opinion between lots of players and lots of bases kind of happened, I think that you guys do more or less represent the way people feel about the game, and that you guys kind of have really good forward-thinking ideas on how things can be fixed about the game. That includes Asmon as well, who obviously isn't here. So just to kind of open up, I do have a couple questions. Obviously, you guys don't have to answer all of them, but I do want to open up with a statement that it's weird to me a little bit how people were calling for Blizzard to kind of pull the cord and delay the release of Shadowlands, but then now that they have done so, a lot of the feedback that they've been getting is, oh, well, you guys waited so long to do it. Why are you doing it now? You might as well have just let the whole thing go. And I think that is not fair to Blizzard. I think that this is an instance where Blizzard is looking at an issue with the release of a major expansion, knowing that they cannot afford for the health of the game to have a second bad expansion. They've listened to community feedback, and they've actually done what a lot of people have asked them to do, which is, if it's not good, delay the game. And I think that in order to encourage Blizzard to keep doing things like this, I think the community has to be willing to get on the side of Blizzard and say, thank you for listening to our feedback and doing what we wanted you to do, which I think a fair number of people are doing. But I think, but I think that is, unfortunately, some of it is getting offset by a large number of people that are saying, oh, well, why are you doing it anyways? And I think, just to kind of end the statement, like, guys, you need to, and I'm not speaking to you guys, I'm just speaking to everyone in general, that you guys need to get behind Blizzard. Blizzard actually did the right thing in delaying this game. Now, is it a significant delay? A little bit. It adds a little bit of time before the pre-patch, but this is a delay, and it gives them time to look critically at what is wrong with the game and what things are scaring players before it even happens. And so, coming off that statement, I do want to ask you guys kind of the first question, which is that now that you guys have, the whole conspiracy of like, oh, they waited for Allcraft to kind of release the, release the statement, which I think is hilarious. It's like kind of resident sleeper, like they actually knew.
You're important enough for that.
Well, wait, I actually thought that. Wait, I actually think that they waited.
I agree. I think that is like in terms of like. So here's my theory of this, and this is before I answer this question. Having you guys release this information on Allcraft is like using you guys as sort of the messenger and the shield, because first of all, you guys are going to be one of the first to hear about it, which means you're going to run with the message, and then you're going to basically kind of bring people for Blizzard, and then Blizzard doesn't really have to worry about actually delivering the message themselves, because it's in a text format, so they don't have like some poor guy that's getting thrown to the lambs access to deliver that statement. And then the other thing is, it's like you guys saying, okay, now looking forward, is this good for Blizzard? Which again brings me to my question. Now, or one of the first ones, now that Blizzard has done this, what is it that you guys critically, because you guys understand the game better than most other people, what is it you guys are looking for them to fix? Like, if you could give them a short laundry list of like, guys, if you hit this right now and fix this, it will help. It may not perfectly fix it, but it will help the release of Shadowlands. What are you guys looking at that is like, you've got to fix now?
Well, I think that making sure the Covenant abilities are balanced and like well designed, and I think like probably the biggest thing seems to be the Maw. It seems like the Maw seems very unfinished, and if they make the Maw more well designed and better designed in general, I think that'll help a lot of players out, because that is kind of like, that's like the end game zone, and if the end game zone is not good, I think that's going to be a huge problem. And also, like, to respond to your statement earlier, I do think that, like, yeah, you're going to have, obviously, like, imagine you take off work to play Shadowlands and it gets delayed. I mean, you're going to be disappointed. I can get that you're disappointed, and I understand anybody who feels that way. But at the same time, I'd rather play a good expansion consistently for 2 years than have rushed out garbage. And I think I'm very glad Blizzard's making the decision. Now, did they do this in order to like get us to say all the positive things? I actually think that like almost everybody thinks the same thing. Like, you're of course going to have like some loud people who are not happy about it, of course. But overall, I think that the overwhelming feedback in the community is that they're very happy, and this makes them more confident in the expansion release. So I don't think Blizzard needs to worry about that at all. Like, you can never make any decision and do anything and expect everybody to be happy about it. You're always going to have a group of people that feel marginalized by decisions, or, ignored by decisions. And it's just something that just happens by its own nature. Like, I know, for example, like there are people that Like there have been a number of streamers who went and they were doing, they were playing one game and then they moved to playing variety. And this was obviously a good decision for their stream, and it gave them the opportunity to make much better and greater content. But there are some people out there who were unhappy about that because they just wanted to see that streamer play that one game. And so it's important to make sure to, balance the expectations with the community with what's also best for, the most people at the most time and what's healthiest for the product, and like the user experience in general, rather than just trying to please and make individual people happy. So I'd like to see the maw. To answer your specific question, I would like to see the maw more fleshed out.
Yeah, I think too. They just needed straight up time for so many of the systems that just started to get tested, right? So I want to see just thorough testing of everything that a lot of players didn't get to put their hands on yet. I think that this was a real. As much as I agree with what Zach was saying, I think that this does have the potential to be viewed more negatively in some ways than it should be. So I do think it was probably a really hard decision to make, which makes me respect it a lot. I do agree that a lot of people are going to see this as a positive, but I think for a company to have to make a decision like this obviously isn't easy. I just want to reiterate, I definitely respect the decision.
There's also almost nobody in the community who's like a public figure in the community who's saying that this is a bad decision. Almost everyone is saying it's a good decision. And I think that especially, everybody now is informed by the release of BFA, which was also unfinished, and a lot of people just wanted to play a new game. And we did play a new game, but it was at the expense of the integrity of the game and a lot of people's enjoyment of it. So I'm actually very glad that they made the decision that they did, and I think it's absolutely the right call. The fact is, like in 8.3 right now, there's not really a whole lot to do in the game. That's definitely true, but it's better to make sure the game is good than to just kind of, push out garbage, because it's just more like it's obvious, right, that Blizzard has lost a lot of their credibility in terms of being like the idea of Blizzard quality. I know a lot of you guys might not be old enough to remember this, but like I do, and I'm sure you guys probably do too.
Yeah.
Blizzard quality was not a meme.
No, it used to be the highest. It used to be the thing everyone would look at. Like, it wasn't a joke. Like, making fun of, like, 10, 15 years ago, making fun of Blizzard quality was like, it would get you laughed out of whatever forum.
Nobody would even do it. Yeah.
No one would hear you. It was ridiculous. Like, Blizzard make bad content? Not possible. I mean, yeah, certain things weren't great, but to say that Blizzard wasn't the company, like, you out of your mind.
I think the best way to put it, the best way to put it, it was back in the day, Blizzard was making PC games at the quality of like Nintendo polish, right? Like Nintendo feels like one of the last developers that's kept the polish. So anybody who's like kind of a zoomer who maybe doesn't remember, Blizzard was the PC Nintendo. Did you just come?
That's a fair way of putting it.
What happened?
Corrupted Tormentor.
Oh, he got it.
I found him.
Did you get it?
So there's like an achievement where you have to kill each of the corrupted mobs inside of Oldham, and I need 3 more. And the Corrupted Tormentor are special rare spawns that spawn out in the ocean. And I finally just found one, and I killed it.
That's that achievement practically done. You might as well.
See, I'm doing the same shit I always do. I'm farming something that apparently I shouldn't even be farming because it's cheaper to just buy it. But
I already have Corrupted Waffle.
So actually, Rich, believe it or not, that brings me to the second thing I was going to ask you guys about. This one's actually really important.
Oh, sure.
Asmon, you have hit this more than anybody. What I'm about to bring up, and this is something that I think is going to be even more interesting to address now that they have delayed the opening for Shadowlands. Why do people keep calling me Blizzard Spy? I don't understand this. I just have good questions. Leave me alone.
Because you have a decent voice. Because you have a decent voice and you have like a decent vocabulary. Therefore, corporate.
Oh no. I've waited a long time to be asking these questions, and like all the questions I had prepared went out the window at the announcement that Blizzard made. So I'm super ecstatic. So the second question I have is, Asmon, you have talked extensively about dead systems. You've talked extensively about Blizzard rushing, feeling like in order to make the game or each expansion different, that they have to have these sort of throwaway unique systems that don't carry over from expansion to expansion. And looking at this with, and what I'm about to suggest is probably completely unable to happen, but with the delay of this expansion, what is it that
fixed
they
it.
can do to move away from systems like this that don't feel stale or actually bog down the game? One of the things I remember I asked you a question this a long time ago about the massive learning curve for people to get into WoW. And part of that, I think, is due to these massive complex systems that players have to learn on top of everything else that they're learning about the game, between raids and between bosses and between PvP, and then all of the other NPC stuff and all of the crafting. I mean, just 110 million systems you can name. Is there anything they can do with this time that they've bought themselves to move away from that direction and make, I mean, literally anything that you do in World of Warcraft meaningful? For instance, you talk about gear permanence. There's no gear permanence. You talk about mount farming. It's incredibly hard. A lot of times, like the amount of times you have to run an instance to get a mount. Getting meaningful PvP gear on top of the awful PvP downscaling system and just these other things. Is there anything that they can do to make these systems matter, or to remove the ones that don't, to trim the fat?
Yeah.
Real quick, Zach, before you answer, your camera died. I put up a temporary replacement, which is fine.
Oh no!
But it's fine.
You would prefer me to leave that up, or
give me 1 second. No, I'm just gonna turn it off, turn it back on. Don't worry about it. Give me a second. Okay. Let me see if it's gonna work again. All right. Cam link allow.
That's exactly what I tuned in to see right there.
Same shit.
What's the difference?
Dude, the ashes of creation people got him yesterday. Did you see that?
They got what?
The ashes of creation people got you yesterday. Or
Yeah.
no, that's yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. So bring it back to the point.
They called him bald.
I will bring that up. Everyone's already
Yeah, they did.
That's an on-demand Twitch moment. But to trimming the fat, what systems can they trim that would make the game sort of more meaningful, or what can they sort of combine them to and replace with one whole system that just sort of, I hesitate to say fix things, but
the funny thing about what you're saying is that they actually already had this system. It was called the talent point system.
Mhm.
And you had talent points, and as every expansion progressed, your character would become more robust and more complete, and you would have more things that your character could do. The problem was that the talent system, I think, was at its peak in Wrath of the Lich King. And then Blizzard, in order to further give classes, better stuff, what they ended up doing is they just gave some classes the same things that other classes already had.
Mhm.
So they gave warriors, heals. They gave warriors stuns. They gave, these other abilities to, other classes. They gave other classes Mortal Strike. They gave paladins an interrupt. So all of these classes started gaining these abilities, and you started really seeing the homogenization. And I think that what they could do a lot better is kind of building systems into something that's a little bit more it's a little bit more long form. And I think, for example, like, I like the idea of the corruption system. I like the idea of the essence system. And I don't know why Blizzard has to completely remove certain ideas and certain things that they do whenever they end the expansion. I'd like to see them have some degree of permanence, at least in one way or another. So I'll give you an example of this is glyphs. So glyphs and the essence system are fundamentally really kind of the same thing, a little bit different, right? Because glyphs more or less modify spells, and essences give you at least one new spell. But if you were able to take, like, let's say one essence with you, a minor essence that was able to be modified for, Shadowlands content, I think that would create content and create things for players to do that it gave it more longevity in general. And you could even make new essences. So I was making the comparison to Path of Exile, and I think Path of Exile is a game that really does a great job at letting the game compound on each other and letting the growth of the systems kind of really add value to the game rather than letting the systems kind of fall away. So recently, Path of Exile had a league called Harvest League, and the league was well received by a lot of people, but because of the power of the crafting in the league, they didn't put it into the core, which is like kind of, that's like what goes forward into the full game. Mm-hmm. And whenever a league mechanic is really well received, then it's going to be in the core for the indefinite future. So I'd love to see Blizzard take and have a lot of other things in WoW actually go basically core. Like, I'd like to see something like corruption go core to a degree, right? And obviously it would need more changes than things that stay the same. But I think that the ideology behind it is great. I think that the Mage Tower challenge should go core.
I do have a question on the corruption then. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you're talking about the corruption as a power gate, you're asking that as a mechanic to go forward.
Yes.
Are you afraid of a potential overuse or overabuse of that? So for instance, you talk about getting hit with that 10 million power chaos bolt, and next thing you know, you're on the Reddit forum. Is there some degree of hesitation in allowing that to become the new version of a chaos bolt? Is that essentially what I'm asking?
Of course it is. And that's kind of the problem. Like, one thing that Path of Exile doesn't need to worry about is balancing PvP. Like, they don't really have any balance for their PvP in the game at all. Like, that's not really a focus that they have in the game. And mostly
their balance in general is going to be very different, right? Because
because they don't have players that are directly competing against each other. You have players that are competing in terms of, like, trying to farm out more items than another, but there's no real direct gameplay where one player is trying to kill another player, and because of that, it does create a different dynamic. But overall, like, what I'm trying to get at is that a lot of these systems and everything like that PoE has, I think that they've done a great job allowing those systems to grow with the game, and then allowing some systems to fade away that weren't really as good as they could be, or they weren't really as interesting as they could be.
What systems would you like to see them cut of those, just to preface that then?
So what would I like to see them bring in? Let me just go ahead and open up the adventure guide and see what they could do.
I do want to jump off the back of one thing really quick before you open it up, because I think it's an important thing to say. Like, when you bring up something like corruption, the reason why I find something like that so interesting is because I agree. I think that's something, like, in the terms of going core, it's something that I would like to see iterated upon in the future of the game. And I think meta progression on gear is crucial to the future, actually, of World of Warcraft. But the thing is it's very hard for those systems to break through and actually be accepted by the community because there's one negative aspect about them. Let's say that it's the way that you actually obtain them, and it kind of sours the entire mechanic, and all of a sudden those systems get shut down because of it, because the community finds one thing that is bad with it. And sure, most of the time that thing is actually bad, but instead of just fixing the thing that's bad about them, whether it's obtaining the item or something like that, the system gets killed before it has a chance to grow. That's what happened with the Legion legendaries.
I think that's what they do, right? Is they kill systems before they iterate on them. And I think this is obviously a problem with, like, kind of managing the expectations of the community. But I want to give, like, a few examples of things that I would like to see go core. So, like, for example, I liked item upgrades in Mists of Pandaria. I think that should have gone, core. I like the idea of obtaining gem sockets through large quest lines in Mists of Pandaria, and the unique functions of those gem sockets, the legendary gems that you were able to get in Throne of Thunder. I would have loved to have seen that go core. On top of that, like, a special gem socket that you could apply to things if you have your legendary quest completed. Assuming that it's challenging and not just basically a
freebie.
A participation. Yeah, a freebie, basically. Let's see. In Cataclysm, what did I like in Cataclysm? Not really a whole lot of stuff.
Cat was scant on any workable systems.
Yeah, there's not really anything too great. Wards of Draenor, I think that the garrison could be implemented in a different way. And I think that the idea of a garrison probably, like, the garrison should not continue, but the idea of a garrison should continue in a way that's not cannibalistic towards, like, towards playing the game with other people and being in shared spaces. So the reason why the garrison was bad, one of the big reasons, is that it was cannibalistic to the idea of a shared space in an MMO, because you could do everything to and from your garrison. There was no reason to go to a city. And I'd love to see something like somebody said in chat, a guild garrison. What I was really hoping to see in BFA was being able to customize and build your own ship to sail out into the South Seas. And you could fight, I thought island expeditions were literally going to be, you would make your own customizable ship and sail out to the other islands. What a disappointment that was, but it's what I had hoped to see. So there's plenty of things like that I think would be really cool. And I think that Blizzard, basically they have, like, a first draft of an idea, and then the idea goes into the game, and then people don't like the first draft, and Blizzard never does a revision.
Isn't one of the Blizzard pillars iterate. Isn't that one of the things that they even have in the statue? Wait, let me ask. Wait, here. Go ahead. I'm literally gonna.
You'd be forgiven for thinking they didn't.
I forget, but here.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Rich, I do have a question for you, and you actually hit on this a minute ago. We were talking about corruption. And by the way, Asmon, like your insight on this is super. Like that this is something that I think a lot of people would need to hear, and I think it's really good to hear this. And I really do appreciate you guys answering these questions. I do have one for Rich. I brought this up earlier when we were talking about permanence, and so we talked about, actually we kind of hit this just a little minute ago. We were talking about mount permanence. So you guys said that items don't last, but mounts are forever. Would you guys like to see a change from a move away from this throwawayable gear? So for instance, like whenever you play Classic WoW, there are certain items that when you get them, it's like it feels like it's life changing. And and for obvious reasons, for better or for worse, it's obviously moved away as retail WoW has included more expansion and has, started integrating more systems, and that's the whole conversation we just had. Is there something that Blizzard can do, or should they even do something to bring in more object permanence, more item permanence that makes your gear actually worthwhile, instead of Shadowlands comes out, all the armor I've got now, except for the transmogs that I get, all the stuff I've spent grinding for, these high tier weapons, all the effort I put in is gonna be nullified when Shadowlands comes out. Is there something they can do to fix that?
Well, I think they've already started to move in that direction, though. Like they've already talked about the idea of gear scarcity, and having like that. That's the thing. You can have those chase pieces. Like you look at how loot is actually set up, how the loot tables are actually set up in Molten Core, for example. There are some really sick items in Molten Core. And then there's a bunch of shit that like really doesn't matter. And sometimes the shit that doesn't matter is going to drop, and it makes that rarer piece feel all the more rare. And there's just less loot in general as well. Like those bosses aren't really dropping that many pieces. Right now, the game is kind of a loot pinata with just a bunch of problems. There's so much loot.
Very good.
Yeah, and all the loot that happens too ends up being very flat. They want to have loot of every single stat priority, which is also not the most fun. So yeah, I think that just having less loot is one of the main ways to do it. And then on top of that, also looking at systems like corruption and making a meta progression more and more of the norm, where you're taking a piece of gear and you raise that piece of gear. It's a good piece of gear for a very long time.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the idea of that. So the reason why something like Onslaught Girdle is so good, and Onslaught Girdle doesn't really have the same value as it did back, in BWL, because now you have other items that compete with it, like Triad Girdle and the Royal Karaji Belt. And I would also draw a parallel to how special people would consider something like Thunder Fury, maybe. Thunder Fury is a legendary though, so I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. But maybe like Choker of the Fire Lord, or a couple of the other like really, really good Molten Core items, and how they would also consider chromatic boots. Now, the chromatic boots are a best in slot item, but they don't nearly have the same type of value to them as something like the Onslaught Girdle, for example, or even the Choker of the Fire Lord or something else like that. And the reason why the chromatic boots don't have the same comparative value as those other items is because there are so many other items in the game that are basically chromatic boots. So you have the slime kickers from AQ20, you have the boots that drop off of the first boss in AQ that just have more stamina and are more, defensively focused rather than offensively focused. And I think you have another pair of boots as well in AQ that are relatively same statted and also have 1% hit. And so that reason makes the chromatic boots comparatively less valuable and less interesting than their other, other items that are more rare based off of the lack of item drops. So the reason why I think that's the difference is because compare that to what Mythic Plus is right now. If you could just go in Mythic Plus and every single item, there was an item out of every single classic raid, classic dungeon that had, main stat strength, secondary stat stamina, 1% hit, 1% crit. Well, if you had that on every piece and you just needed to get Onslaught Girdle from MC or whatever, it would make it less valuable because the items don't really have that unique value to them because everything else has the same thing. The reason why Onslaught Girdle is valuable is because it's unique. And whenever, for example, now the AQ comes out, Onslaught Girdle is not really as cool as it was. and you compare what are some of the other the shoulders, right? The shoulders from Major Domo. These are like the shoulders that any good healer was wearing, and now that there's not really as good. And so the more items that you inject into the item pool, the less valuable the items that were originally in the item pool become. So I think that's why chromatic boots don't really hold the same value as something like the Choker of the Fire Lord or something else similar to that. Now,
so a sort of gear squish would then be in order for Shadowlands.
Well, I don't think so. Here's the issue with that. And this is a problem that I think Blizzard has had. And it's also been something that they don't need to do. And they did a very great job from TBC, from vanilla into TBC. So tier 4, it was really tier 3 and then tier 4. Realistically, I don't know what tier the first tier of BFA was versus the tier of Antorus. But let's say tier of Antorus was tier 20. BFA, Little Deer, was like tier 25. It was way better. It was not even remotely close. Like, it was the gear from the expansion is just way, way higher. I think that you should be able to raid, and I actually think this would probably be, and like, this is a very nuanced argument, and it's also something that's contextual around how much gear is actually available. But one example I could give you is the way that tier 20 is TOS. It's like basically you go from, well, let's look at some item levels, okay? So what item level was the gear that came from Dragon Soul? Well, the gear that came from Dragon Soul, the heroic gear, besides the Deathwing gear, was 416, but the tier gear was 410. Well, what was the first set of gear that you got from the tier 14? Because Dragon Soul was tier 13. Well, the next set of gear was item level 496.
496.
So you're going up by 86 item levels. Whereas let's compare tier 3 to tier 4. So tier 3 was around item level 80 to 90, like 85 on average. And tier 4 was around item level 110. So that's really a difference of 25 item levels. So you had a lot of people who were using tier 3 whenever they were still clearing Karazhan. And I actually think that was a success of the game because it allowed people to feel a permanence of their gear and actually be able to take that gear and use it in the next expansion. Now, there are some problems with that, and I'll give you an example of that too, which is the Scarab Brooch that drops from Visitus in AQ. So during ICC progression, people were actually using the Scarab Brooch that dropped from AQ in heroic Lich King progression. And the reason for that is because the entire bonus that trinket created was percentage based. And because it was percentage based, it would have been good forever. Like, this would always be a good item because of how powerful it is. And so it allowed people to bypass the infest mechanic because they could just pre-shield everyone and they would never have to worry about healing people through infest. So what really happens is that I would like to see some interplay between like the current tier and like the previous tier from like maybe an expansion, like the last tier in expansion, the first tier in the next expansion, maybe like a couple of items that are still good. But even that's something I'd be willing to compromise and say maybe that probably isn't a good idea. But I guess like from the way I looked at like tier 3 to tier 4, I thought was really cool. But what I'd really like to see is for the expansions, inside of the expansions, for the gear to be relevant for the entire time. So in Burning Crusade, you had things like the necklace, like Risen's Lost Pendant, and you had a couple of other items like the Gauntlets of Martial Perfection, I think there was a belt, or the Dragonspine Trophy from Gruul. These items were extremely powerful. And because they were so powerful, they were relevant for much longer than the tier was actually out for. And because of that, I think that made the expansion it gave it much more longevity. And it gave people a reason to go back and do that content. And I think that is a good thing. I feel like we so often now in WoW play the patch and not the expansion. So if we went back to a more varied approach where you didn't have as many raid difficulties that would invalidate previous tiers of gear, and you had those chase pieces from previous tiers, I think that actually makes the game a little bit more complete, and it gives people more things to do rather than just repeat the same raid over and over and over. And I think have that to a very small degree with the font of power and Ashvane's Razor Coral. But I'd like to see a few more items like that.
Damn, that's actually really good fucking insight. Like, that's actually really good. Jeez, that's actually the majority of my questions. I do have one special one for Rich. This one is kind of a shout out to your casting stuff, and I do want to ask you about sort of tying in on the questions I've asked you before. So you've had something that I've always loved is esports casting. Something I've loved from watching your work is what you've managed to accomplish. And like when I think about WoW, anything related to WoW esports, I do think of you. Like every time, I think it's something phenomenal. I think it's fantastic, and you also have the ability, just like Asmon, to offer a unique perspective on a different aspect of WoW, which people don't think about. And the majority of chat may not care about this or may not watch this, which is fine. But people kind of model themselves after the highest tier of gameplay. So, for instance, when people talk about highest tier gameplay, they're thinking about people like you and Asmongold and Svand and you know the entire core group of people that are, you know, might be considered the circle of, you know, WoW playing gods. Is, you know, sometimes y'all have been self-proclaimed like the literal mount god and stuff like that. I say that to be a little bit funny, but what I'm saying is you have a unique perspective on how this affects pro players, and you have had the chance to talk to them. So for you, how do you think this affects the highest end of gameplay in a competitive sense, both, you know, for PvP competitive and for, you know, the WoW side of things? You know, what does that amount for them, as especially going into Shadowlands, and what do you think will sort of start to come of that?
Wait, so I just want to be clear. So one more time, you would say that I am the highest tier of gameplay, right?
You represent some of the highest tier of gameplay. People like you and Asmon and Esfon represent some of the highest tier of gameplay.
Yeah, so
the highest tier being subjective because it's WoW. So let's.
Yeah. So I wanted. So basically, you're kind of asking about what the impact of like the way that certain people play the game on the entire player base is, right? Like how
Yes,
yeah. So
absolutely.
like how the top tier of players, how it actually affects the game, how it
Because
trickles down.
like it or not, people like they, you know, not to be sweaty, you know, tryhards or anything like, but people look at the highest tier gameplay, whether that be pro players or people like you and Asmon, Espen, whatever. They look at you guys and say, okay, this is what they're doing, this is what they're saying, and this is what is and isn't working. Like regardless of whether or not they agree with your opinions, like, you know, if they were to see Asmon trying to spec into some kind of gear, run into a raid and get insta one shot, which doesn't happen, but you know, just to be insta dead, they're like, okay, that's garbage.
Yeah, I think the thing is like for me and Asmon, we're kind of a herald of what some of the other people are saying a lot of the time, right? Like Asmon's not necessarily going to be the guy who's theory crafting what the best spec is on each phase of a new fight, right? But he is going to be one of the people who does know it, and I know chat loves to cap every time somebody says like that Asmon and I are like top tier players. But the thing is like I totally see what you're saying.
There is some truth to it.
Well, we know what's going on.
Used to be.
Right? Yeah, we used to be, true, but and like we understand what's going on and we talk about it a lot, right? So we kind of spread the gospel that those top tier players are currently making right now. Like for me, when I'm hosting a PvP tournament, or when I used to, or you know, when we're covering something like the raid race or anything like that, we're kind of talking about what we've heard from the pro players, right? Like if I want to know what's going on with fire mages, I'm going to hit up Preheat. I'm going to ask them what's going on with fire mages. So we have the access, we spread some of that knowledge, and I think it does have a huge impact on the game overall, especially in like the sphere of people who are on Twitch. I think sometimes in a lot of really bad ways that are somewhat inescapable. It's not just a World of Warcraft problem. It's more of an internet problem. Just when information travels that quickly, people are going to metagame much more than just explore and figure stuff out. I was playing Cookie Clicker last night. About as simple of a game as you could possibly have. And I was about to ascend. And I searched and I was like, how many heavenly chips should I have before I ascend on first ascension? And it's like, dude, it's fucking Cookie Clicker. But when the knowledge is there, you're kind of stupid if you don't fully equip yourself with all the knowledge there. And some of the wonder is lost because of it. I literally looked up and I was like, oh yeah, if I get this many heavenly chips and then I ascend, like it's going to be a much better thing than if I just go for it like and raw dog it right now. And I think that one of the saddest things about video games is the fact that wonder has been lost. I think it was something that was incredible about WoW. And at the same time, it does allow people to get much better at the game much quicker, which I think causes another type of fulfillment. And I think that, it's possible for people to work really hard and fill the shoes of some of these people who are already the best gamers in a way that it probably wasn't before.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, that is really the end of my questions. I cannot thank you enough for actually being able to get me in here so I could ask these questions. I'm super thankful for that. I'm huge fans of you and Rich. I watch you guys damn near religiously. Like,
thank you.
I'm constantly checking Twitter for both of you guys' streams. So, big shout out to both of you guys. Just two things that I want to say real quick. First of all, this one is directed to chat. This kind of brings up the meme of the, Asmon being bald thing. Listen, you guys don't understand. He's not. And if you don't believe he's not, I'll give you a picture of me. Like, if you want bald, I'll give you a picture of bald. It's not good. Listen, Asmon's got it good right now. I promise you. Like, leave him alone, guys. You don't understand.
Really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'll be real. It's funny sometimes, but it's like it gets old seeing the constant memes of like, it's like they don't understand. They don't get it. I'll if you want bad, I'll show you bad.
8-year-olds that are saying this shit, man.
Oh, actually, I know.
Other dudes that are bald that are just fucking saying it to say it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, he's not bald, dude.
That didn't sound very convincing over there.
Oh yeah, he's not bald and I'm not 5 foot tall.
I know that toilet paper looking a little bit tall in the back.
Hey, fuck you, dude.
Hey, we throwing darts. I'm gonna throw mine. I'm just saying.
It was a lot of toilet paper, dude. It was a lot.
Hey man, they started manufacturing toilet paper a little differently these days. I'm saying.
Dude, I gotta say, dude, I swear, man, in real life, first of all, I'm pretty tall in real life. I'm basically the same height as Asmon. Like, actually, like, that's not even a joke. And on top of that, Asmon's not even, like, in real life, Asmon doesn't even look slightly bald. But sometimes,
he doesn't look bald, period. I don't understand. I get that it's at this point, it's just an ongoing joke because they think it's funny, but I want to know where it started. Like,
oh, well, it started when he started.
There's never been a point. There's never been a point.
No. I mean, once it started, it made sense that it was perpetuated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I get it.
Imagine having to come up with a new joke if a joke already exists, right?
Oh yeah, no. That's just the
male muncher, right? So it makes sense. And then also, you got to keep in mind.
I did laugh when that meme came out. It was real hard not to. It was just so coincidental.
Well, think about it like this too. Asmon streams.
Sorry, Asmon.
Asmon streams for like 6 hours, right? At least.
Oh yeah.
And throughout that 6 hour period, half of the chat is probably constantly being refreshed. Like they're probably like. They're like probably like at least 20,000 people that actually watch the entire time. But there's always a new person coming in, and the first thing that person does is just go like, "Yo, dude, bald, bitch, bald, bald. Look at me, streamer," and they don't know.
They can't do that until they say "do the thing." They can't say that until they say "do the thing." That's the first thing in chat every time.
But the thing is it's some new idiot that doesn't realize that Zach just fucking had to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, and dude, he's not even remotely bald. Like,
not even remotely.
Yeah,
like I'll volunteer for that. Like that's not. He's got it good. Second and third things I want to say. This is again to the chat. Popular contrary belief: I am not from Blizzard. I have never worked with Blizzard. If I had, I probably wouldn't be here because they probably wouldn't allow me to. But like, I'm not a spy. Just leave me. I promise. This is not. You won't see these on a patch note coming out. I promise. It's not like sweaty tryhard. Scribble down on a pad. Although that is what I'm doing. And then just taking this back to Blizzard HQ. So anyways, and then the third thing I want to say again, guys, thank you so much. I realize I've eaten up a massive chunk of time, so I do really appreciate this, guys. Your insight into this stuff is really second to none. You guys, memes aside, you guys really do know the community, the game, the content, what is good and what is bad. And I just want to tell you guys, like, keep doing what you're doing and spreading like good opinions and awareness of like what's going on with the game. Because I think that if people like you guys keep doing what you're doing, Blizzard is going to keep listening. And I think as long as people just say, keep getting on Blizzard's side a little bit and saying, hey, we, thank you for listening and doing what we're doing, that they're going to continue to make the right calls and, hopefully, instead of having every other expansion be good, maybe we'll get 2 or 3 back to back before there's a bad one. Fingers crossed on that one. But anyways, cheers, guys. Thank you so much. And I guess have a great rest of the stream.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. I'll
Thank
talk to you later.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
Cheers.
I have to get ready to go to my dad's.
I just want to say one thing.
What?
If I worked for Blizzard
Yeah.
and I was a
Again?
Blizzard spy.
Time?
Okay, dude, okay. If I worked for Blizzard and I was a Blizzard spy, I would have said exactly what he said, man. I think we just had our first ever Blizzard employee on the show, man. It's about time they sent somebody.
Yeah, I hope so. Man.
Yo, wait, what?
Go tell Ian that.
Yo,
tell Ian to fix the game.
It was nice meeting your spy. No, dude, but
Yeah.
you want to see what Shoot made?
What?
Remember Shoot? Shoot makes all the crazy good art. I told Shoot about the birthday stream tomorrow. I think you're gonna like this one, dude. Why am I on a leash?
Oh no!
Why am I on a leash?
Oh, no.
Why am I on a fucking leash? Why am I on a leash, dude?
What's wrong? That's a nice leash, at least.
Dude, you know what's fucked up? My parents used to actually put me on one of those when we would go to like the mall.
That's smart.
I mean, just
I think he's trying to get out, dude.
I was that guy. Just trying to run off the leash.
I gotta.
Yeah, dude. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up tomorrow. Did you see the thing that David messaged? Well, and the other. Yeah, look at the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, dude. I'll see you later.
Yeah, good
Peace.
dinner, bro. Peace.